Hello, good afternoon. My name is Richard. This is Over and Over and Over Again. How is everyone feeling? The league title is going to be decided over the next couple of hours. Either Arsenal or Manchester City are going to be lifting that trophy at around about 6 o'clock this evening. Will it be us or will it be them? This is Matchday Live. This is Arsenal versus Everton and City versus West Ham. Coming up the other side of this. So it's Matchday Live, the last Matchday Live of the season. Is it going to be a glorious finish for us, or are we going to suffer frustration and heartbreak once again? We will find out over the next couple of hours. We've got some comments in already. Terry is with us. He says, good afternoon, Richard, all in the chat. Big day today. Got me tissues, alcohol and painkillers ready. And I think you're probably going to need all of them at some stages throughout the afternoon, Terry, I would imagine. Emerson's here. How you doing, Emerson? He says, must-win game. Shame about Saka. Come on, you guys. Yeah, I mean, it is a shame about Saka, obviously. We'll get the team news very, very shortly for you. Saka isn't in the team, just so you know. Terry says, hit that thumbs up button as soon as you join the chat. It all helps towards the channel and Arsenal goals. Indeed it does, yeah. Give us a like straight away. John says, hi, Richard, everyone. Yeah, good afternoon, John. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you. Right, okay, so we want the team news then, don't we, for this last match of the season. So, hang on, I'll just, sorry, I'll just like that comment section. It's just in the way, isn't it? So the Arsenal team then, this is how we line up. In goal, David Raya, back four, Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel, Takahiro, Tomiyasu. Not too many surprises there. In midfield, Thomas Partey, Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. Again, not too many surprises there. And the front three, Leandro Trossard, Kai Havertz and Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli comes in for the injured Bukayo Saka. So on the bench then, it's Aaron Ramsdale, Jurrien Timber, Jacob Kiwior, Alexander Zinchenko, Jorginho, Fabio Vieira, Emil Smith-Rowe, Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah. Might be the last time we see some of those players that are on the bench in an Arsenal shirt today, quite possibly. For Everton, then, this is how they line up. In goal, it is Jordan Pickford. Their back four is Seamus Coleman, who's their captain, James Tarkowski, Jared Brantwaite, and Ashley Young. Yes, Ashley Young, the one who used to play for Manchester United, who's about 55 years old. He is playing at left back for Everton today. In midfield, it's Idrissa Gueye, Amadou Onana, and Abdoulaye Doucouré. And then it's James Garner, Dwight McNeil will now be just behind the centre forward, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Everton have got quite a few young players on the bench. Goalkeeper Billy Crellin. They've got Lewis Warrington, Michael Keane, Ben Godfrey, João Virginio, Youssef Shamiti, Lewis Dobbin, Mackenzie Hunt, and Beto. So they're your teams. And what we're making of those teams then for Arsenal? What do we think of that today? Obviously, not too many surprises, is there? Obviously, Saka, we knew there was a slight doubt about him playing, but he's often fit, isn't he, when there's a doubt about him? But not today. He's out. That's a big loss, isn't it? He tends to rise to the occasion in the big games. But Martinelli steps in. And obviously on his day, we know what a good player he is. He's not had a great season for one reason or another. But anyway, he is going to have to step up to the mark today. Of course, Trossard's the man in form. Kai Havertz is the man in form. We're going to be relying on those two probably for our goals today. It's not necessarily just about our game, is it? Yes, we have to win. Of course we do. We can't afford anything else. But we do have to, of course, rely on the other result there that you can see, Manchester City against West Ham at the Etihad. Should Manchester City win, there is nothing we can do. If they drop points, we have to win to make sure we take advantage, and it'll be us getting that trophy at 6 o'clock. So let us see what happens. Now, there's only been twice in history that we've got into the last day of the season, last official day of the season, in second place and still won the title. 1989, of course, is the famous one when that 2-0 victory at Anfield gave us the title over Liverpool. But it's happened once before, all the way back in 1938. We started the day behind Wolves going into the last week, the last game of the season. We played Bolton at home and we won 5-0, which we did our job. And luckily, Wolves lost to Sunderland. So we picked them to the league title. So it hasn't happened this way when it's been out of our hands since 1938. So incredible long time, isn't it? That we've started the day in second place with it out of our hands and actually won the league. That's the only other time it's happened in our whole history. So let's see what happens today. Can that be repeated? Well, you never know. You never know. Stranger things about it is 90 minutes of football or 95 minutes of football, if you want to look at it that way. I expect anything can happen. Red cards, penalties, dodgy decisions, a magic moment, a big mistake in either game. It could well decide the league, or it might just be the quality of the two challengers in the end shines through and both teams win. We will have to see. Terry said, just the pubs around the Emirates are charging £10 to get in. Some of them are. I think the Tollington is, but what you got to remember is that if they don't charge, they can't really keep a track on how many people are there, and it's just going to be a nightmare. I remember going up there once to watch a game. I can't remember what game it was now. It might have been a cup final we couldn't get tickets for, and all the pubs were just crackers, and everyone was. You had to get tickets to get into the pubs, and yes, some of them are charging. I know the Tollington are charging, but they're giving out free drinks. So it's just to keep a track on numbers. I can't really blame them for doing that because it would be chaos. It will be chaos. So maybe you can understand they can restrict the numbers they get in. It makes it more enjoyable for everyone. And you get a free drink, so it's not like you're getting nothing for your money, are you? So plus you're getting the atmosphere there, but it is what it is. Herman says, "Good afternoon, Richard, and all fans from Canada." Yeah, good to see you, Herman. Hope you're doing well. Hope you can handle the stress today because it's going to be quite stressful, I'm sure. Terry says, "Ain't young the bird poo eater." I'm going 3-2. You think we'll win 3-2? Well, any win will do. We can't do anything else other than win, can we? We're 1 goal ahead on goal difference, but that's not really going to matter, is it? Everton says Trossard hat-trick. Well, it might be a Trossard hat-trick. He's certainly on fire at the minute, isn't he? There's no doubt about that. He's the man in form. Him and Havertz are our two big goal threats today. Obviously, without Saka in the team, our top scorer. Phil says, any chance they get to cash in, it will certainly be something if the impossible was happening. Yeah, I mean, it's not quite impossible. It's unlikely, I think, is more the term. Not impossible, unlikely, I would say. Terry says, Man City 6-0. Well, that wouldn't surprise me, but you never know. Football's a funny game. Dawn Empress says, come on, you Gooners, win, lose, or draw Arsenal to the core. Exactly, yeah, that's what I look at, isn't it? Whatever happens today, it makes no difference long term to how we feel about it. Obviously, it's going to be disappointing, isn't it? Herman says, by the way, who made the decision on this Arsenal ladies uniform? Well, it's going to be the men's kit as well next season. So I don't know who made it. Terrible, I agree. Phil says, wasn't that for our Champions League final? Ended up in a public. Oh, it might have been, mate. Yeah, I can't remember now. Possibly. But I know a load of places charge, don't they? They do charge. So interesting stuff. But anyway, the teams are in the tunnel, and Arsenal are wearing this season's kit as opposed to next season's kit. So it wasn't allowed to wear it due to FA rules. If the Premier League could be decided, you need to be there with the trophy in the current season's kit, and that's fair enough. I'm agreeing with that. Everton, of course, are all in blue, as you would expect. Not a lot to play for Everton. They've made themselves safe despite all the points deductions and whatnot that they've had, and getting points back and getting more deducted and all that kind of stuff. They are safe. Sean Dyche has done a decent job there. And we always tend to have a few issues against Sean Dyche teams, or we have done in the past, haven't we? It was a tough game up at Goodison. If you remember, it was Trossard got the goal that day when we won 1-0 early on in the season. So obviously we would take a similar result today. But Arsenal have got some pressure as well. I've seen some people say there's no pressure on Arsenal today. No, there is. There is pressure on Arsenal today. There definitely is, because we have to win. We have to win. Yes, it's out of our hands. We can only do our job. That's what we've got to do. And if we win our game today, it will be an incredible run since the turn of the year. But it may still not be enough. The teams are coming out into the Emirates sunshine. And is it going to be shining on us all day today and at 6 o'clock? Will the West Ham do us a favour? Our old friends from Upton Park from back in the day. First match I ever went to was West Ham game, so they need to do us a favour, don't they? Because I've used to go West Ham quite a lot because of my local team, and I used to go with system and stuff. So back in the late 1970s, I went quite a few times to see West Ham. So they need to do us a favour today, don't they? Anyway, the teams are getting ready for the start here. There's a lot of flags and banners. It feels like a bit of a cup final, doesn't it? So let's hope that we can produce a performance. And see, Terry says, watched Dice interview earlier and he said Everton are right out for it today. Well, of course he's going to say that, isn't he? Because if he doesn't say that and Arsenal win 5-0, then that's going to look bad, isn't it? Whereas at least if Arsenal win 5-0 now, he can say, well, we were up for it. We were up for the game. It's just one of them things. So what else is he going to say? He can't really say much else, can he? So I don't really listen too much to that. But I expect Everton to be professional and do their job, as I expect West Ham to. I'm not expecting anything other than a tough Premier League match for us and a tough Premier League match for Man City. That's what we should expect from both games, shouldn't we? All we can do is do our job. And yes, we'll be keeping an eye on what's going on a couple of hundred miles north. But there's nothing we can do about that game, is there? We can't influence that. Whatever the score is there, we've still got to go and do our job and win this game. And it will give us 89 points, which is our second highest ever total in Premier League history. That's a good season, isn't it? It's a solid Premier League season at the end of the day, but it may still not be enough. We shall see. So only that one change for Arsenal. Bukayo Saka is out. We kind of expected that he may well be. And as a consequence of that, Jurriën Timber's coming onto the bench. It was first game of the season, wasn't it? He played 45 minutes, got injured. We haven't seen him since. Will he come on today? And that'd be funny, wouldn't it? A funny way to start and end the season. It's only 2 appearances in the first and last game. It wouldn't be enough, of course, for him to get a championship medal. Is it 10 games you have to still play? I know it used to be 10, didn't it? Anyway, he wouldn't get one because obviously he wouldn't have played enough games. But anyway, I say the Everton team, as expected, really, isn't it? They've looked. They're a difficult team to play, aren't they? They've got they're a physical team. They've got height. They're quite dangerous from set pieces. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a threat, isn't he? He's had injury hit career, of course, as we know, but he is a threat. He's been scoring a few goals lately. And it's gonna be a tough game today. Let's not make any bones about it. It's going to be a tough game. There's tension. There's pressure. And these are the games where you've got to stand up, haven't you? You've got to stand up and be counted. And they're actually changing ends as well, which is quite interesting. So Arsenal will be attacking the North Bank in the first half. I don't know whose decision that was, whether it was Martin Ødegaard or whether it was Seamus Coleman wanted to give Arsenal something else to think about. Usually we attack the clock end in the first half. As that change going to affect us at all? Kai Havertz looks particularly nervous, actually, which seems strange. He's played in many big games in his career, hasn't he, Kai Havertz? Champions League final. He scored the winning goal, and he looks really nervous today. The crowd, of course, are up for this, as you would expect. This could be the first league title at the Emirates. Wow, the first league title at the Emirates era. It's taken a long time, but it could just be 90 minutes away. It's out of our hands, but let's just do our job. We are now getting ready for the kickoff here in the Emirates sunshine. It is going to be Arsenal to kick off. Does that mean Everton won the toss and chose the ends? I don't know. I can't remember how it works these days. But anyway, it's going to be Arsenal to kick off. We are attacking a goal to our left, which is the North Bank. Or maybe that was Martin Ødegaard's decision to do that. I don't know. It's just unusual, isn't it? I can't remember the last home game that we did sort of switch around and attack this way first, which makes me think it might have been Everton's decision, just to try and unsettle us. You do what you can to get your result, don't you? And if it means trying to unsettle us by making us kick off the other way around, then that's fine. Get off your knees, guys. Don't be silly. Come on, get on with the game. We are just about to kick off here at the Emirates and, of course, everywhere else up and down the country. It's a full fixture list. To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you who else is playing anybody else other than we know Man City are playing. That's it. I don't know any other games. I don't really care. It's just about these 2 games today. Nothing else is important. And we are off and underway. Arsenal in possession. Straight away, Tomiyasu on the halfway line chips a ball forward towards the Everton penalty area. Kai Havertz tries to get it. Martin Ødegaard plays it in to Martinelli, who's actually starting on the right-hand side, Martinelli, and Trossard is on the left. I wondered if they might be the other way around. Anyway, shot comes in very, very early on. It's curled wide of that post. It was Kai Havertz with the effort, and there we go. It is a decent start from Arsenal, but yeah, Trossard is going to be on the left, where he's been playing so successfully in recent games, and it looks like Martinelli's over on that right-hand side. Trossard can, of course, play over on the right as well. Maybe they'll be switching and matching throughout the game. Not that Arteta normally tends to do that very often. Anyway, Jordan Pickford's goal kick is very long. but the header from William Saliba back into the centre circle. Everton knocked the ball forward looking for Calvert-Lewin, but again, William Saliba's there now. It's Takahiro Tomiyasu. It's back with William Saliba, just touches the ball off to Ben White over on that far side in the sunshine here on the final day of the season. And it is Arsenal 0, Everton 0, City 0, West Ham 0 still, of course, which we'll see how that game goes as well, which is in some ways just as important a result, or more important possibly. We can only do what we can do here. And we are coming forward now. Trossard on this near side, plays it back to Gabriel, goes back into the centre circle to William Saliba. Familiar patterns from Arsenal, but of course without Saka over on that right-hand side, it's going to be a little bit more tricky for us, isn't it? Because that works so well, doesn't it? Gabriel does ping a ball over there to Martinelli. That's a nice touch. At least he go around the outside this time over on that side. That's a good ball as well to Martin Ødegaard right on that far touchline. Can he get the ball into the box? A little backheel for Ben White, but Everton actually win it back. Ashley Young, it was, I think. That was a good play actually from Ashley Young, considering he's about 75 years old. Thomas Partey, John says, City not kicked off yet, haven't they? They've not kicked off yet. Oh, okay. Emma says, are you watching both? Well, I'm not really watching both games. I've got the other game on the BBC app. I can't really watch both at the same time, I don't think. I don't really know how to do that. I don't think I can do it. But anyway, has it not kicked off yet? I was just getting a little bit excited there. It has kicked off, yeah. 2 minutes played at the Etihad. It's still 0-0 there as well. So, yeah, it has kicked off, yeah. Anyway, it is 0-0 here. It's 0-0 there. It's 0-0 everywhere. And Arsenal coming forward. Gabriel touches it off to Takahiro Tomiyasu. We could do with a nice early goal to settle us down, couldn't we? And then, hope for the best elsewhere. But anyway, we are coming forward again over on that far side. Martinelli touches it back to Ben White. Now it's Thomas Partey. He's been playing well, hasn't he, since he came back into the side? But is he going to be his last game, maybe? Martin Ødegaard plays the ball into the box. Little bit of space here for Martinelli. Drills the ball across. It's going to come to Takahiro Tomiyasu, but it's well blocked actually there by one of the Everton defenders. I'm not sure who it was. And they've cleared it away. And Calvert-Lewin is trying to cause problems there to William Saliba. Too many problems, and it is actually a free kick. But Tomiyasu there, the ball almost fell to him, didn't it? Just inside the penalty area. And I think he just about got his shot away, but there was an Everton defender there, managed to get the block in. And that was a big chance for Arsenal very, very early in this game. And we're trying to come forward again over on this near side. And the stream has just decided it wants to freeze, which is nice, isn't it? Which is good news. We don't want that to happen too often today, do we? Anyway, let's see if we can get it back. Oh, we've got it back, but it's gone back a minute or two. Oh, we've got bad news. We have got bad news from the Etihad. There's been a goal at the Etihad 3 minutes in, and it is Phil Foden. Man City are 1-0 up. Man City are 1-0 up. That isn't good news, is it, at all? We didn't want them to get the early goal. We needed us to get the early goal to put pressure on them. John says City 1-0 up. Indeed, they are. Oh, dearie me. It's Phil Foden, who's just been voted Footballer of the Year, has got that goal for Manchester City. And as things stand, Manchester City will be, 4 points ahead of us. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now with Kai Havertz over on that far side. We need a goal soon, don't we? Just to try and keep that pressure on. Kai Havertz touches it back to Martin Ødegaard. And Arsenal with all the possession and all the forward play at the moment, but a little bit frustrated. That ball's played for. It's a good ball. Kai Havertz, can he keep it in? He does. The cross to the near post is put behind by Jared Bramthwaite. It is our first Arsenal corner. And the fans in the Etihad are getting news from, the fans in the Emirates are getting news from the Etihad that Manchester City have taken an early lead. And it was a goal there from Phil Foden. Anyway, Arsenal got a corner. We can only do our job, can't we? We can only do our job. It is a corner over on that far side. Martin Ødegaard is going to take it in towards the near post, headed out by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Ødegaard gets it back over on that far side. Martin Ødegaard, can he get the cross in? Faced by Dwight McNeil, cuts back inside, plays it to the edge of the penalty. Declan Rice does get the cross in. Header comes in. Oh, it's across the face of the goal from Tomiyasu. He's had 2 chances already from left back. and he couldn't direct that one on target. What a cross that was from Declan Rice. Gabriel couldn't quite get there. Tomiyasu did, headed it down, but he couldn't find that bottom corner. It's gone past the post, and it was almost the lead for Arsenal, but not quite. And we've played, 5.5 minutes. It is Arsenal 0, Everton 0, but it is City 1, West Ham 0, which is probably at this moment in time slightly more important, isn't it? In that sense, they're just showing the goal now. Phil Foden from the edge of the box. That's a great goal, actually, into the top corner. Football of the year, Phil Foden. Dawn Empresses, just for once, let us have it. Well, they're not going to let us have it, are they? We're going to have to earn it, and it's never easy, is it? We can only do our job, though, can't we? There's no legislating for that. A strike like that, though, from Phil Foden. It was a fantastic goal, wasn't it? And Man City are in control here, but Everton coming forward themselves. The last thing we need now is for Everton to take the lead, because the atmosphere is already suffering, of course, as a result of that Manchester City goal. The last thing we need is Everton to score, don't we? Anyway, we've played 6.5 minutes at the Emirates. It is Arsenal 0, Everton 0. And we could be 5-0 up. It's not going to make much difference, is it? As if the score stays as it is at the Etihad. It is Man City 1, West Ham 0. That's a long ball played forward. Calvert-Lewin over on that far side has kept it in. Plays it back to Onana. This is Everton's best spell. Decore. This is good play from Everton. This again now in possession for Everton. And we certainly don't want them getting a goal here, do we? That would be an absolute disaster. Cross into the box. Thomas Partey does well, but he's put it behind. It is Everton's first corner. They are dangerous. And we'll see what happens here. Everton says anything can still happen. Oh, yeah, it's very, very early in the game. Anything can happen. Absolutely, it can. But what we don't need is Everton to score, because I do feel that could be a crucial moment, really, with Man City already winning. Anyway, it's a corner to Everton, and they've got a lot of height. They are a very physical team. We've got to keep switched on here. It's Everton's first corner of the game. It's going to be Dwight McNeil to take it over on that far side in front of us. Everton fans. He's got ball into the box, headed forward, and David Raya is there under pressure, but he does well. David Raya just won the Golden Gloves, of course, and that was a good piece of handling. That's one thing he's been really good at this season, isn't it? More than anything else, has been his handling from crosses. He's been absolutely brilliant at that. And he did well there. As a header up in the air, I think it was Tarkovsky, it was with a header. It went up into the air on the edge of the 6-yard box, and under pressure, David Raya came and collected it. And that is what he's done so well for us this season. Golden Glove winner. All that fuss when he joined as well, incredible. And he's proved everybody wrong, hasn't he? With his performances, and he's made the defence a lot more settled, hasn't he? And obviously, we have got the best defensive record in the league, but having the best defensive record in the league may not be enough to win us the title, unfortunately, as things stand. But very early days. We haven't played 10 minutes yet. Trossard now coming forward on this near side, tries to play the ball in towards Kai Havertz. Everton deal with that particularly well. You do feel as though maybe Everton's defence have probably got the physicality to deal with Kai Havertz a bit better than some other teams have in recent weeks. But let's see what happens. He's not had much impact as yet, has he, Kai Havertz? The referee is saying that he's already going to be looking at time wasting from Everton. They've taken a long time to take this throw. And yeah, of course they're going to try and waste time, aren't they? They want to try and get something from this game. I'm sure they will. And you have to say in the first 10 minutes or so here, they've certainly showed that they're not just going to roll over and let us win, which we never expected anything different, did we? Anyway, there's not much we can do while Man City are still winning, but we still need to try and win this game. Of course we do. It's now with Gabriel on this near side, plays it back into the centre circle. William Saliba, Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Ball played out to that far side to Thomas Partey. Now plays it square to Gabriel, and the fans are trying to lift the team. It's a bit of a strange situation to be in, isn't it, really? When you know it's out of your control, it's never easy, is it? You like things to be where you know you can do your job and it's in your hands, and it's not, and it's tough, isn't it? But we need to not worry too much about what's happening elsewhere. Just focus on winning this game. That was a poor ball though from Gabriel, and it's rolled behind for a goal kick to Everton, and they're going to waste some more time, I'm sure, Jordan Pickford is noted for his time wasting anyway, isn't he? So he's not going to hurry, is he, to take this goal kick. 10 minutes played in both games and all the games. Well, I don't care about the other scores. We'll maybe look at half time. There's only really 2 games that matter. Jordan Pickford behind that goal to our left-hand side plays the goal kick short, and now Everton trying to come forward. Ashley Young plays up that far side. William Saliba's across. Arsenal giving the ball away, actually. And now Everton are coming forward. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's touch to Dwight McNeil. It wasn't great, but Dwight McNeil has picked it up. He's a good little player, Dwight McNeil, isn't he? He's a very tricky player. Very good left foot. Plays the ball back to Ashley Young. And now it's with Branthwaite, who's a big lad, isn't he? Branthwaite, good 6'4", big, strong central defender. Typical Sean Dyche type player. But now Arsenal coming forward. Declan Rice on the edge of the penalty area. Oh, it's a good tackle on him there, actually. A really good tackle on him. It was by Idrissa Gana-Gueye. And that denied Arsenal that opportunity. Oh, there's a mistake there at the back. Kai Havertz plays it back now. It's with Declan Rice. Is this going to be the chance? Declan Rice. Oh, the shot saved. He didn't really get hold of it as well as he should have, as well as he could have done there. Declan Rice. It was a good move from West. Mistake initially by Everton, but it was good play from Arsenal. Kai Havertz touched it back. Martin Ødegaard, and then Declan Rice's shot didn't find its target. Emerson said it should be 1-0 there. It should have been. Wasn't a good finish, was it, by Declan Rice? He didn't get enough power behind it. It was a decent save from Jordan Pickford down to his left-hand side, but it wasn't really a great finish, was it? 7 goals he scored this season. Declan Rice should have maybe made it 8 there, but wasn't able to get that shot away. This cross comes in looking for Kai Havertz at the far post. He's done well, though, Kai Havertz. He's done really well. Can he win a corner or a throw? You know, he doesn't. He keeps possession nicely, though. Trossard now just inside the penalty area. Trossard, he got the winner, of course, at Goodison Park. But again, it's a tackle in there. It was Tarkowski with it. And Everton, I say that physicality that they've got in defence is going to make life difficult for us today. And they defended well again. That was a good tackle on Trossard by Tarkowski. But Arsenal still in possession over on that far side. Gabriel Martinelli is going to have a little run there at Ashley Young. But Dwight McNeil has been told, hasn't he, to double up and help him because he's going to struggle, isn't he, for pace, Ashley Young, against Martinelli. Thomas Partey now. Arsenal just knocking the ball around. William Saliba plays out to that far side. Martinelli again, he's going to have a run at Dwight McNeil this time. And Anaya come again. It's across towards the far post. Trossard pulls it back. Oh, was it Pickford there? I don't know if he was trying to cross that in or whether it was a shot there. There was a good crossover from Martin Ødegaard from that far side, lofted to that far post. Trossard came in, a bit similar position to what he scored against Chelsea, if you remember. It actually came off Coleman, and it was a good save, actually. I don't think he knew too much about it, Jordan Pickford, but he managed to scoop it over the bar. It would have been an own goal. Anyway, Declan Rice is going to take this corner from the near side. 14 minutes played. Arsenal 0, Everton 0. We've had a couple of chances now starting to settle into this game and see if we can get the goal here. Declan Rice it is with this corner from this near side. Swings it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Pickford comes and punches well, actually. Martin Ødegaard's going to pick this ball up, though, over on that far side in the sunshine. Plays it back to Martinelli. Now it's with William Saliba. Touches it back to Ben White. Now it's with Martinelli again. Martin Ødegaard's going to cross again from that far side of his left foot. Good ball. Comes all the way across. And Gabriel is trying to force his way through. The big defender who's got quite a few goals this season. 4, I think he's got, hasn't he? 2 in that game against Crystal Palace. Trying to get on the end of that there, but he couldn't quite manage it. Again, Everton defending well. And it remains 0-0 here. And it remains 1-0 to City at the Etihad as well. Coming up towards the 15-minute mark. Anyway, to throw down this near side. Kai Havertz keeps it in well. Tries to cross it in. It hits Coleman, but Arsenal do keep possession. Tommy Asu plays it back to Thomas Partey. Now Gabriel. I mean, Arsenal playing quite well here, but we need a goal, I think, don't we, just to settle us down a little bit. As the more time ticks on at 0-0, the more the tension's going to mount, especially when we know the score at the Etihad. Anyway, Gabriel Martinelli does well. He got the ball back again from Ben White. Martinelli, this is great. Is this going to be 1-0? Martinelli with a shot. Oh, great save from Pickford. 2 saves from Pickford. That was almost a moment there for Arsenal to get the lead. Brilliant play from Martinelli. A lovely 1-2 with Ben White. Martinelli got into the penalty area, got his shot away. That was a good save from Pickford, and he was quickly to react to save the follow-up. Now Everton on the counter-attack with Decore. Has he managed to get the ball there? He has. Dominic Calvert-Lewin battling away there, but Arsenal defended it well. In fact, there's going to be a free kick now to Everton on the edge of the Arsenal penalty. Well, it's all happening here. Takunda says it better become a better game for us. Well, I mean, we had a big chance there, didn't we? Martinelli did really well. Actually, the finish wasn't great. That's a good save, though, down to his right-hand side. A good strong arm, and actually it was good defending, actually, from Bramthwaite to clear that away. That's a really good save from Jordan Pickford. With his little arms, he managed to get there and scoop it away. And that was good play. But it is a free kick on the edge of the penalty area to Everton. But that was a big chance for Martinelli. Did he really get hold of that shot as well as he might have done? It was on target and it was a good save, but I don't know. He didn't really get the power in it that he needed. Anyway, let's see what happens from this free kick for Everton. It's just outside the Arsenal penalty area. It's about five yards outside the box. And it is going to be Dominic Calvert-Lewin over it. Arsenal have got a wall and they've got Martin Odegaard laying down behind the wall as well. And David Ray, all in black, standing in that goal at the clock end. The Everton fans behind that goal will be willing this to go in, I'm sure. And this could be a big moment. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with a free kick into the wall and cleared away. The wall did its job there. That was good. In fact, it's hit Gabriel right in the face there. And he's gone down. But he did his job. The wall did its job. He certainly hit that free kick well, didn't he, Dominic Calvert-Lewin? He gave it some power. But it was straight into the wall. And everybody's frantically looking at their phone for any updates from the Etihad. It is still 1-0 to Manchester City, as you can see on the screen. Dawn Empress says, yeah, we want to watch both games, so I'm staying in with my boys. Been waiting all day for this. Gutted Man City are leading. Yeah, well, we're all gutted Man City are leading, but like I said, we can't do anything about that, can we? We can't do anything about that. We just need to try and win our game and hope that West Ham can pull something out of the bag. It is only 1-0 though, so you know anyone can score one goal against anyone. So let's see. You know, Everton are coming forward now, trying to score a goal of their own, which would add another twist to this title race, wouldn't it? And they're still coming forward. Bramthwaite there pings it in to Anana, and Everton in possession with Ashley Young, plays it back to Bramthwaite, and a little loose touch there, but he got away with it, and then Anana plays it all the way back to Jordan Pickford in green, the Everton goalkeeper. That's not it's a strange pass, but it reached its target, surprisingly enough, which was Decore, I think it was. Anyway, now Everton, Dwight McNeil cuts in from that left-hand side. This is an amazing run from Dwight McNeil, a brilliant run, actually. And he manages to get the ball out to that far side as well. And Everton looking to come forward. A nice little dummy there. Decore plays the ball up this near side. It's going to be Seamus Coleman. Can he get the cross in? He does get the cross in, headed away by Thomas Partey. But Everton piling on a bit of pressure here as we getting up towards the 18, 19 minute mark at the Emirates. Everton coming forward again. And Everton in possession. Decore tries to play the ball up the line, but does manage to keep possession. Abdoulaye Decore. Now it's with Garner down this near side. Everton are doing playing well here, actually. But they just lose out there. But Arsenal give the ball away. Oh, the threaded ball there looking for Dominic Calvert-Lewin inside the Arsenal penalty, and the referee then gets in the way. And it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Emerson says 90 plus 8 West Ham equalises. Well, it is. Of course it is. It's still on because it's only 1-0. But we need to win our game. Otherwise, an Everton West Ham equaliser won't actually make any difference, will it? Anyway, Everton have got a slight injury at the moment. It looks like it's Idrissa Guy's gone down. He's actually wearing, is he wearing tights? Oh no, it looks like he might be wearing tights. Anyway, it's a very hot day. It's not quite sure why he'd be wearing tights unless it's to protect an injury. But he's gone down here anyway. Actually, it's not a 9. Oh no, so yeah, he's Idrissa Guy's. And it's still 1-0 at the Etihad, just in case you was wondering. He's wearing tights, isn't he? Why is he wearing tights? That's a bit, is he wearing? I don't know if he's wearing tights or not. It looks like he is. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. It just seems strange if he is on such a hot day. So unless it's to protect an injury. Anyway, there you go. And it's going to be. I don't know if it's a free. No, it's going to be a drop ball to Arsenal, isn't it? Because the ball hit the referee when Arsenal tried to launch that counter attack. Everyone just applied. Sorry, some big pressure there, didn't they? Oh, there's been another goal at the Etihad. There has been another goal at the Etihad, and it is Phil Foden again. It is 2-0 to Manchester City, and suddenly the chances of Arsenal's title are looking slimmer and slimmer by the moment. John says City 2-0 up. They are. Phil Foden again, the footballer of the year, has got both the City goals. and it's looking as though the title is heading back to the Etihad. It will be the first time ever a team has won 4 league titles in a row. And that is not what we wanted to hear. That is not what we wanted to hear. Can't say totally surprised, but anyway, it is what it is. If Arsenal coming forward, we can only do our job anyway. We have to forget about that. Just focus on our job here. Trossard trying to come forward, plays the ball up the line for Declan Rice. As he managed to win a corner, he has won a corner for Arsenal. And we need to win this game and hope still, you know, you do wonder if West Ham have got it in them to come back from 2-0 down in a game that doesn't really matter to them. Away at Man City, I'm not sure if they have, but you never know. Next goal when you're 2-0 up, if the other team get it back to 2-1, you never know, do you? But as things stand, it's not looking good. And you've also got a corner here in front of the North Bank. Declan Rice is going to take it on this near side, whips it into the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away again by Everton. In fact, there's a free kick anyway to Everton there. And again, their aerial strength was come to the fore again there, didn't it, with that corner? That's 2 corners we've had, and both times they've managed to head the ball away, and that was a well-worked goal and easily finished by Phil Foden. The first goal was really good, and that goal was just a good team goal. And City are 2-0 up, and it's not looking good, is it, for Arsenal in terms of winning the title? Anyway, we was praying for a miracle, and it would be a miracle even more so now, wouldn't it? Even more of a miracle if we were to get if we were to win the league from the current position of the 2 games. But you never know. We won't completely give up hope quite yet. Reminds me a little bit of yesterday, the final day of the WSL season, when Chelsea went and won 6-0 to win the league for a 5th year in a row. You know, our Man City going to do a similar job today. It seems they might well be. They're on their way to doing just that. We're midway through the first half in both games. It is Arsenal 0, Everton 0. But even more important than that is Manchester City 2, West Ham 0. And that would give them the title. Anyway, Jordan Pickford just rolls that ball out to Bramthwaite, and Everton actually settled down into this game. Actually, Arsenal had a fast start, but whether or not it's to do with the score coming through from the Etihad, I'm not sure. But Everton have certainly grown into the game after the first 5 or 6 minutes or so, when Arsenal were really dominant. And Arsenal now got a chance to come forward. Kai Havertz, who's actually looking quite lively in this game, puts a ball crossing towards the far post. But again, it's Everton head that wins it. It was actually Young on that particular occasion, and just nods it gently back into the arms of Jordan Pickford. And it is Everton in possession again, with Seamus Coleman on this near side, the Everton captain. And now it's back with Jordan Pickford again, the England goalkeeper. I'm sure he'll be the #1 choice for the Euros in the summer, won't he, Jordan Pickford? There was a time when Aaron Ramsdale looks as though he may have been threatening his position, but we know what's happened there. And from an Arsenal perspective, obviously, it's proved to be the right decision. Anyway, Arsenal now in possession over on that far side, with Martinelli. Touches it back to Ben White. Plays it in field to Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey twists and turns and plays the ball back to William Saliba. Arsenal just keeping possession. Gabriel now looking for a forward movement. Instead, dinks the ball over to that far side to Martinelli. Heads it on. It's a good header, actually. Finds Martin Odegaard, tries to pull it back, but it's an Everton player again, and Jordan Pickford tidies that up. And now Dwight McNeil can chip the ball forward towards Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who drops deep to pick that up. Nice play. Not good centre forward play, that is. And now Dominic Calvert-Lewin over on that far side has done well. If he wasn't so injury prone, you'd imagine he would be in with a shout for the Euros as well. I think he's a good player, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Anyway, is Everton coming forward. Decore touches it off to Coleman on this near side, the shaded side at the Emirates. Now he's played it back to James Tarkowski. There is a few ex-Burnley players in this Everton team, isn't there? Of course, Dwight McNeil as well. Sean Dyche's old players. That's a good ball played out to this far side. Dominic Calvert-Lewin can keep that in. Closed down by William Saliba, but keeps possession for Everton. It is Dwight McNeil. Very left-footed, but a very good player he is. Plays the ball back again, and Everton just keeping possession. They'll be quite happy with this, Everton, won't they? If they come over with a draw here, they'll be delighted. Arsenal do normally win big on the last day of the season, but obviously the pressure on the situation is a bit different this year to the last couple of seasons where we've won. We beat Everton, was it 5-1 on the last day a couple of years ago, didn't we? We're coming forward now. Kai Havertz, he's going to have a run at Tarkowski over on that far side. He's inside the penalty area, cuts in field. This could be the goal for Arsenal. Kai Havertz with a shot blocked by Branthwaite. Everton don't really get it clear though. Martin Odegaard just goes outside the penalty area with the ball and touches it back to Thomas Partey, who's then fouled by Abdoulaye Doucouré. Declan Rice now in possession for Arsenal, finds Takehiro Tomiyasu on this near side, touches it back to Gabriel, plays it square to Declan Rice again. Arsenal looking for that breakthrough. Thomas Partey chips the ball over the top, but it's a poor ball. It's straight into the arms of Jordan Pickford, and it is still Arsenal 0, Everton 0. And of course, as we know, Manchester City 2, West Ham 0 from the Etihad. And if it all finishes like this, then Man City will be champions. But in fact, if Man City's game finishes like that, regardless of what happens here, Man City will be champions. Everton, though, are actually playing reasonably well, you have to say. They've had some good spells of possession. They've had one or two little moments as well. Caused us a few little anxieties, and they've defended pretty well as well so far. They're in possession now in midfield. They look as though they've got a really strong midfield ever. And sometimes look at their team and you think, why? Yeah, okay, they had the points deduction, and without the points deduction, they would obviously be higher up the table. Even so, Onana this time's gone down. Amadou Onana, the Belgium, and he's going to need some treatment as well, and his day might be done. He's a good player, actually, isn't he, Amadou Onana? And players now come across for, I suppose, an unscheduled drinks break over on this near side. Well, there's some treatment going on for Onana. Asakunda says there, so Man City is taking it again. Not that I don't have hopes, but not easy. Well, no, we've still got hope, but hope is fading, isn't it? Let's be honest. What we needed, if anything, was the games to be the other way round. We needed Arsenal to get an early goal or two and Man City to still be 0-0. Then there would have been the pressure on them to have to score and win the game. Now, they've eased their own pressure. They scored after 2 minutes. And, suddenly it's almost feels like it's going to be easy, doesn't it, now for Manchester City to go on and get the win that they need. We needed them to feel a bit of pressure by us scoring early and then being 0-0 at this point. And that was the hope, wasn't it? I think if we were going to do it, that's what we needed to happen. We needed us to be in the lead quite early and Man City to stay 0-0 for as long as possible. And then, the nerves kick in. I mean, it was like the other night, wasn't it, that game against Tottenham when it was 0-0 for a long, long time, 0-0 at half time. And, Man City were looking a bit nervy. Once Man City get a goal and an early goal, they can settle down. They're very, very difficult to stop, aren't they? In the same way that Arsenal have been this season. I think we've won every single game where we've scored first. So, I know actually we haven't. We lost against Fulham, didn't we? I know. Have we not won every game we've been in the lead at half time? I think that was a stat. Anyway, we don't often drop points when we go 1-0 up, do we? And the same with Man City, especially at home. Anyway, Everton have got a throw on this near side. It was Tomiyasu there. And Onana might well be coming back on, actually. I thought maybe he was done, but maybe he's not done because he's back on now. Amadou Onana for Everton following an injury that he just picked up. And it is Everton in possession. There's a long ball from Ashley Young over the top, but it's going to go all the way through to David Raya, who's all in black in his kit today. Also, as I say, are in this season's kit as opposed to the horrible next season's kit. This kit's so much better, isn't it? I know you only keep them for a year, but don't downgrade your kit. I mean, come on. This kit is quite nice, actually. The home kit this season's a nice one, isn't it? Anyway, Ben White plays the ball out to that far side to Martinelli. Arsenal still looking for the breakthrough. We can only do our job. Let's just focus on that. Thomas Partey now just about, 25 yards out, plays the ball square to Ben White. Everton have got everybody back apart from Dominic Calvert-Lewin He's the one outlet, isn't he? And Arsenal still in possession just on the edge of the Everton penalty. Thomas Partey finds Tomiyasu. Lets the ball run across him. I don't know if he intended that or it was just a bad touch. Anyway, he's found Trossard. Plays it back to Thomas Partey, who's actually dictating a play in the middle of the park. That's a good ball out to that far side. Can Martinelli manage to keep it in? He does. Ben White it was. He can't do anything with it though. Everton will complete the clearance. Now they've got a little bit of space over on that far side and they're looking to break forward quickly. Look at Decore, made a run into the centre forward position. And now it's with Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the edge of the Arsenal penalty. Dominic Calvert-Lewin hits the post and the rebound into the side netting. And Everton close to really finishing it off there. And it was Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That was such a big counter-attack there from Everton. They won the ball inside their own penalty area. And suddenly there was space over on that far side. And look at the run there that Abdoulaye Decore made through the centre-forward position. It suddenly created some space actually for Calvert-Lewin. And he did well. His first shot, beat rate, hit the post. And his rebound into the side net. And he really needed to go across the keeper on the second attempt, didn't he? But he didn't get it right. Rajendra says, "Hi, Rich. You have had some anxiety about the game. The players are playing as normal. Well, they sort of are, but it's still 0-0, isn't it?" Emerson says, "I thought that went in. Yeah, I thought it had gone in. Actually, I thought the first one had gone in at the post, and then the second one maybe should have scored that second one, but he put it in the side netting. That would have been I think that would have been all over. You do feel if Everton go 1-0 up." Have we got it in us when with City 2-0 up to come back? Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now. The ball played it towards Kai Havertz. Again, Everton defend it well. Twice they block it. Now Thomas Partey, Gabriel's shot. And then Everton clear it away. Tarkowski's header. And there's been chances at both ends now. Kai Havertz in again. Can he get the cross in? Plays it back to Martin Odegaard. Twisting and turning over on that far side. Dinks across to the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed by Declan Rice, but Everton clear it away again. And it's certainly an interesting game, this, isn't it? And Everton could be 1-0 up. Arsenal could be 1-0 up. But it is 0-0. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's come the closest for anybody, though. He's hit the post. Arsenal will throw over on that far side. It's going to be a corner, is it? It's going to go behind. I think it's a throw right by the corner flag over on that far side. Ben White is going to take this. Manchester City are still 2-0 up. We need a breakthrough just to try and add a little bit more pressure on. Herman says, "Is Arsenal trying hard enough?" No, I think Arsenal are trying hard enough. Maybe we try a little bit too hard. We're forcing it a little bit. Anyway, we are coming forward now. Saliba finds Ben White right over on that far side. Ben White touches it back to Saliba again. Now it's with Martin Odegaard, Thomas Partey. A little bit of space for him. Plays the ball back to William Saliba over on that far side. Now Thomas Partey, can he get the cross in? No, he doesn't. He just looks to find an easy pass instead. It's to William Saliba, gets it back Thomas Partey. Now he's going to find Ben White over on that far touchline. Gets it back Thomas Partey. Now it's into Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard brings the ball forward, switches it up this near side. It's a good ball to Leandro Trossard. Pulls it back to the edge of the box to Declan Rice. And he couldn't quite get a shot away. Trossard again plays it square to Thomas Partey. This is good pressure from Arsenal. William Saliba's going to try a shot. As he knows, he threads it in. Into the box there. It was a great block. Was it Declan Rice? No, it wasn't Declan Rice. Was it Martinelli came in there with that shot? It was blocked. He's now gone down. And now Martin Odegaard's going to run through, is he? No, he's not, because Tarkowski's just taken the ball off him and are ever going to put it out for a throw. They are now. So Martinelli can get some treatment there. Looks like a knee injury there for Martinelli as he got that shot away. This doesn't look good, actually. It looks quite a serious injury. You can never really tell with Martinelli because he likes to go down quite a lot, doesn't he? I think it was James Tarkowski with the block. Williams said, what a ball that was. And then Martinelli tried to get the shot away. That's a great tackle, actually. That is a great tackle by James Tarkowski on Martinelli. He gets that wrong, and that's a penalty. He did dive in a bit, but he's won the ball brilliantly, actually. What a tackle that was. Wow. And Martinelli's come off with an injury from that. But what a great piece of defending. And that's what Everton have done really well in these opening 35 minutes. They've defended extremely well. And that just summarised it there. Tarkowski there. That was a really good piece of defending. And they're just showing the Calvert-Lewin shot. He was trying to catch out David Raya at the near post, and he almost put it in. And he couldn't. Or he was off balance for the second one. Anyway. Rajendra says they might have got lulled into a sense of easy game. while we are trying still. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. Atakunda says, okay, at least we can enjoy the game. Arsenal come on. Well, yeah, I mean, let's win the game, yeah. But Everton have certainly, you can't turn around and say that, there's no integrity in the league, because Everton have given it everything, haven't they? And they've certainly made it a tough first half for Arsenal. And anyway, John says there's shooting practice for City, 15 shots to 0, men playing against boys. Yeah, well, I mean, that's why Man City are going to win, or on the brink of winning 4 league titles in a row. And that's the difference, isn't it? They're not bothered, are they, who they're playing or what the situation is. They don't get nervous. They don't get anxious. They just do their job. And you can see that Arsenal, we do play with a lot of tension anyway, most of the time. And that's the difference, isn't it? And that comes from winning, doesn't it? And you need to find a way to get something over the line. And that's why this Arsenal team needs to win something, a cup competition. They just need to win something and get that feeling of what it feels like to win and how to get something over the line. And then you get hungry for more, don't you? And that's what starts. That's how it starts, isn't it? You think Pep's first trophy in England was the Carabao Cup, or the League Cup as it might have been then. But anyway, that's you've got to start somewhere. You've got to win a trophy, and then you can build and build. And that's what we need to do. It's no good thinking that we can suddenly go from nothing to winning a Premier League. Yes, we're not far off. We're not going to be far off, but sometimes you've just got to look at it and think, you just need to get used to winning things, winning trophies. And we seem to always fall down in the cup competitions. And maybe next year that's how we've got to learn. We've got to try and keep ourselves in the cups and try and win something. That's what we need to try and do, really. And then that might help us when it comes to getting a league title over the line. And that's why Man City just relentlessly do it. And also coming forward again, looking for Kai Havertz, that ball from Thomas Partey, but again, it was well defended. It was William Saliba's ball. It was well defended by Bramthwaite, and it's run through to Jordan Pickford. Martinelli seems though he's okay for the time being, although he's still wincing a little bit in pain. That was some really good defending, you have to say, though, from Everton. Again, they've defended really well in this first half. We've got, 8 minutes or so left. Well, there'll be a bit of stoppage time. Everton have just won the ball back in midfield. They've done that quite well. Dwight McNeil now is having a good run at the Arsenal defence, and then he's fouled by Thomas Partey. And it is going to be a yellow card as well for Thomas Partey, the first yellow card of the game. And it was probably a fully deserved one as well. Trying to get back in. Was it Thomas Partey that lost possession? No, in fact, it was Ben White that lost possession to Onana. And then Dwight McNeil showed good pace. Thomas Partey couldn't really keep up with him and then committed the foul. And it's about 10 yards outside the Arsenal penalty area. And it's a second dangerous free kick Everton have had in this first half, isn't it? As they are looking to try and unsettle us even more with a goal. Thomas Partey with a yellow card. Can't really have too many complaints about that, can he? And Arsenal lining up their wall again. It did its job in the last free kick. This free kick slightly to the left-hand side. The other one was a little bit more central. So maybe this is a better chance to get a strike and goal, isn't it? Because you've got a better angle, maybe. You've got Idrissa Gueye and Ashley Young are both over this free kick for Everton. We've played 39 minutes. It is Idrissa Gueye. Oh, and he scored. He has scored for Everton, and it's all going wrong on the final day. Idrissa Gueye has just given Everton the lead with a free kick. It was a good free kick, actually, but into the top corner. And suddenly now it's all going wrong. It was going wrong already, and now it's really gone wrong. Everton have scored, and it was a good free kick from Gueye. It's from out on the edge of the penalty area, curled it over the wall. Did it get a deflection or did it go straight in? Wow, it's a great free kick if it didn't get a deflection. Did it get a deflection off the wall? No, it did. It got a deflection off Declan Rice, actually. And Declan Rice has headed it back across the goalkeeper into the other corner. I don't know if that's going to go down as an own goal, or is it going to be Guye's goal? I'm not really sure. Declan Rice, it came off, headed into the top corner, and it's 1-0. John says, oh no, 1-0 down indeed. Emerson says no. Terry says, well, yeah. And it is still 2-0 to Manchester City as well, and it is not going our way. We wanted these results to be reversed, didn't we, in the first half? That would have been ideal. Then we would have seen what Man City are all about. But as it is, we've now got a mountain to climb of our own to win this game, which we still have to do, regardless of what Man City are doing. And now we have to do it from behind. We have lost twice at home this season, of course, to West Ham and to Aston Villa, both by a 2-0 scoreline, actually. So we need to find a way back into this game. You have to say Everton have played well in this first half. They really have. They've set out their tactics have been spot on. They've been strong physically, and they've played some nice stuff when they've been able to, and they've made it really difficult for us. And now they've got the goal as well, and they're now going to win a free kick as well. Declan Rice put his hands in the face there of James Tarkowski. And it's going to be a free kick to Everton, who lead 1-0 here at the Emirates Stadium. And the 20-year wait for a league title may well be continuing here. It did get a deflection, and I think had it not got a deflection, David Raya probably saves that, because he's come across that way, hasn't he? And then it's come off Declan Rice's head. There's no way David Raya can do anything about that. And it's gone in. And Everton have only won once at Arsenal, away at Arsenal, since 1996. And that was in the, do you remember that was it the COVID season, wasn't it, where they won 1-0 then as well. And they have now gone 1-0 up here on a ground they don't often do very well on. And Arsenal normally win the last game as well, don't we? So there's still plenty of time, though. It's not even half time yet, is it? Everton fans are celebrating. Not quite sure what they're celebrating, but anyway, they're celebrating, and they've probably deserved this in many ways for the way they've played in this first half. As the away team, you have to say it's been a good away performance from them. Anyway, Arsenal need to step it up now, and ignore what's happened at the Etihad or what's happening at the Etihad. You never know. West Ham could find a way back into that game somehow. Some miracle might happen. You never know. Anyway, Arsenal still coming forward now over on that far side. Thomas Partey, he gave away that free kick that led to the goal there. Martin Odegaard, can he get across and pulls it back to Tomiyasu? It's going to be an equaliser. It is the equaliser. Arsenal score straight away, back on level terms. Lovely goal from Tomiyasu. He's had a couple of chances already today, actually getting forward. That one he's buried. And there's hope again for Arsenal. Good goal it was. Martin Odegaard did well down that far side, pulled it back to the edge of the penalty area. Tomiyasu made that run into the space there that was created on the edge of the box. A lovely ball from Martin Odegaard, and Tomiyasu there smacked there with his right foot past Jordan Pickford into the bottom corner. Arsenal 1, Everton 1. Everton says, come on. 1-1 says John. Rajendra says, we need to get back versus Everton and score a few more goals. Yeah, exactly. Terry says, get in there. Indeed, get in there. And it's back to 1-1. So we're almost back where we started. The Everton goal has been wiped out very, very quickly there. There's been 2 quick goals at the end of this first half at the Emirates. Arsenal 1, Everton 1. And who knows what might happen. But it's all we could do, isn't it? We could just get ourselves back in this game. We've managed to do that. And as we approach half time, if we're into the final minute of normal time, there'll be some stoppage time here, won't there? There's been another goal at the Etihad. There has been another goal at the Etihad. It is Manchester City 2, West Ham 1. Kudos has scored, and suddenly are things changing? Are things changing in the title race? We had almost given up hope, but West Ham have pulled a goal back with Kudos, and the fans have got to hear that at the Emirates. It's 2-1 to Manchester City, and we've just pulled it back to 1-1. Of course, 1-1's not enough for us, even if City were to draw their game by some miracle. 1-1 is not enough for us, but West Ham have pulled it back. Who knows? Herman says that's better. It is better. The crowd at the Emirates are getting up now. There's going to be 7 minutes of stoppage time. Wow. They're just showing a West Ham goal again. A bit sloppy defending from West Ham, and that's an overhead kick. Wow, that's a decent overhead kick there from Kudos. And West Ham barely celebrate it, actually. But it is 2-1. And Rajendra says, hit the likes for goals. That's what we're missing. Indeed, we are. Get the likes in and maybe Arsenal can get a goal. Emerson says, screamer from West Ham. Well, an overhead kick it was, yeah. What a goal. Brilliant goal it was. And it's game on at the Etihad. It's game on here as well. And suddenly, from a position where it looked as though it was all going wrong, Man City were 2-0 up, we were 1-0 down. It was all over. But suddenly, 2 goals in 2 minutes have put a completely different complexion on this title race final day. Man City are still winning and we are still drawing, but it's looking a little bit brighter than it was maybe 5 minutes ago, isn't it? And those 2 goals there in quick succession in both games have made, or could have made, a big difference to how this title race is going to play out today. So it's back on. It is game on. We are going to be able, we've got 7 minutes of stoppage time here. There has been quite a few stoppages. Now, what that's going to mean is potentially our second half's going to start later. So we will know what is happening or what has happened at Man City. Their game's probably going to finish first, isn't it? Because you imagine they're not going to have 7 minutes of stoppage time. They're just showing Tomiyasu's goal, which was a very good strike, actually. It still may be in vain, but who knows? Who knows? West Ham have got a goal back. And Tomiyasu's only his second ever Arsenal goal. What a time to get it as well on the final day of the season. His other goal was actually against Sean Dyche's former club, Burnley, wasn't it? So that's a bit of a strange coincidence, maybe. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again. See if we can get ourselves in front before half time. We've played 2 minutes of the 7 of stoppage time. But Everton again have been strong in midfield. They've won the ball back. They've done that a few times in this first half. Dwight McNeil, good feet. And their goal scorer, Gay, there, has then fouled by Declan Rice. It's going to be a free kick to Everton. They've actually played well in this first half. You have to say Arsenal fans are getting a bit more excited now inside the stadium, and why not? It is game on anyway. There's no doubt about that now. It is game on. West Ham have pulled a goal back. It is 2-1. And they are in stoppage time as well at the end of the first half at the Etihad. We're deep into stoppage time here. But it's a free kick to Everton. The free kick goes to the far post. Tomiyasu, Arsenal's goal scorer, plays it up into the air. Tarkowski, heads it back in, and Calvert-Lewin tries to bundle the ball home, but the referee's given a free kick. I don't even know if it was a foul on David Raya. I think it was a foul just before that. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal anyway, as we are deep into stoppage time. And we're just hearing that West Ham have equalised at the Etihad. Surely that can't be right, can it? West Ham equalised. There seems to be news that West Ham equalised at the Etihad right at the very end of that first half. Surely not. Surely they haven't. Anyway, we haven't got confirmation of that as yet. We're just hearing that it might be 2-2, but it's not half-time at either game. It isn't half-time at either game, but anyway, as things stand, Manchester City are still top of the table. It is still 2-1, I think, to Man City. There's goals in other games. We don't really care about them, do we? Chelsea are winning, by the way. But anyway, no one cares about any other game. Emerson says, no, is it 2-1 still? Okay, it was 2-1, good. Well, not good, but I've heard it was 2-2. Just getting a bit excited. Anyway, Everton in possession now. This first half is still going to go on for quite a while yet. And is there an offside there? There is. Calvert-Lewin came back from an offside position. We've played 4.5 minutes of the 7 of stoppage time at the end of this first half. This game is going to go on all night, which is going to make it even more stressful, isn't it? No doubt. Anyway, Arsenal in possession here. It is Arsenal 1, Everton 1. And Trossard now in possession. And Man City will be feeling the heat, won't they? They will be feeling the heat in that second half if it stays at 2-1. Because as we just saw, that goal from Kudos for West Ham, anybody can score a goal against anyone. We've seen that today. Everton went 1-0 up here. You know, no one would have predicted that, would they? So anything's possible in football. Anything is possible in football. And we have to keep believing that there's going to be a big turnaround in this second half in both games. Well, basically, we need an Arsenal goal and a West Ham goal is what we need in the second half. Or still in this first half, maybe. Trossard, we've played 5.5 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half here. Cross comes in towards the far post. Kai Havertz was coming in. Martin Odegaard's kept it in over on that far side. Played back to the edge of the box. Thomas Partey with a shot over the top of the crossbar. And another chance for Arsenal has gone begging. Rajendra says there that was kudos for goals, and West Ham will make City panic because they only need one more goal versus City. Yeah, well, I don't think it'll make them panic too much because they don't tend to. Panic isn't something that Man City tend to do very often, is it? But it certainly made it more interesting, hasn't it? It certainly made it more interesting. And I think we're all a little bit worried when it was 2-0 to Man City so early on that they'd have that game wrapped up quite early on and it would have been very flat. But suddenly it's more exciting, isn't it? Terry says there the luck may be changing. Haaland just missed a sitter, did he? Well, he tends to miss a few sitters and then he ends up scoring 2 goals in the last 10 minutes, doesn't he? So, but anyway, are they still playing or is it half time there as well? Because we've been playing 6 minutes of stoppage time here and there's still probably 30 seconds still left in this first half. And it is going to looks like it's going to finish Arsenal 1, Everton 1, but maybe we can get the goal here. Ben White there tries to go around the outside. He doesn't. And it's going to be a throw instead to Everton as we see what is going to happen in the rest of this first half. It is half time at the Etihad. It is half time. Manchester City 2, West Ham 1. We'll go for all the other half time scores as soon as we get half time. In fact, there goes a half time whistle at the Emirates as well. It is Arsenal 1, Everton 1. It was a strange first half in many ways. We kind of played quite well. We were dominating possession. Martinelli had a good chance, which was well saved. We had 1 or 2 other moments, but then Everton took the lead, 5 or 6 minutes before the break. It was a free kick from Idrissa Gueye, which got a deflection off Declan Rice, gave Everton a lead. And then just 2 or 3 minutes later, we got back level. Good move. Odegaard pulled the ball back to the edge of the box. Tomiyasu came in and fired home to make it 1-1. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had hit the post earlier for Everton as well. But none of that's going to matter too much because at the Etihad at half-time, it is Manchester City 2, West Ham 1. 2 early goals from Phil Foden, but Kudos has pulled a goal back for West Ham just for half-time. So it's game on there. It's game on here. And it's quite exciting, isn't it? Dong says there, we're back in the game. So is West Ham coming in. Because exactly, yeah, I say a big change around there right at the end of that first half. Really was, wasn't it? In both games. A goal for West Ham, quickly followed by an equaliser for Arsenal. So the second half is going to be quite tense, isn't it? Quite tense and quite dramatic, I'm sure. But let's wait and see what happens. Right, okay. After all that fun and games there we've had in that first half, I think I need a cup of tea, actually. I think I do need a cup of tea. Terry says, let's hope Arteta's half-time talk is better than the one he gave against Villa. Well, he needs a big talk, doesn't he? And I'm sure that's what he's going to do. Anyway, I'm going to go and get a cup of tea. Stay with us. We'll be back for the second half where the title race is going to be played out. It is going to be played out in the second half here. So stay with us. We'll be back very, very shortly. So don't go anywhere. Join me for the second half very shortly. So, welcome back. We're getting ready for the second half. Arsenal 1, Everton 1. Of course, Manchester City are 2-1 up against West Ham. So, it's all to play for in the next 45 minutes. Herman says, when Everton scored, I went to the kitchen and got myself a sweet banana to ease the pain. When I returned from the kitchen, Tommy scored. Well, you know what you need to do in future, don't you, next time? Let's see what happens. I'm talking of bananas. I've just seen there the woman presenter on TNT Sport. It looks like a banana, doesn't she? In that yellow bloody outfit she's got on. Anyway, there you go. Cup of tea time for me before the start of this second half, which has been a bit stressful that first half, isn't it? But there you go. Let's see what the second half brings, shall we? It's still in the balance anyway, isn't it? You know, it's not all over as it may well have been, as we feared it might have been very early on in this game. But let's see what happens in this second half, because it is still all to play for and it is still all up for grabs, isn't it? But we need to win our game anyway. We can't worry, we're worrying about what's gone on. But we need to win this game, don't we? Anyway, let's see what happens. I mean, we've dominated that first half, haven't we? 68.4% possession, it says we've had. So anyway, we've dominated the game, but it's 1-1. Touches in the opposition box. We've had 29 and they've had 3. Wow. What other stats can we find that might be interesting? We've had 12 shots to their 4. 68% possession for us, 31 for them. We've had 3 on target. They've had 1, so pretty close in that sense. Goalkeeper saves. Their goalie's made 3 saves. I only really remember him making 2. Anyway, and David has made no saves. He couldn't quite. Of course, he was wrong-footed, and Everton did it at the post as well. So, you know, if you look at the stats from the Man City game, just for a laugh, because didn't John say us then that it was 72% possession for Man City. They've had 15 shots, 10 on target. West Ham had 2 shots, 2 on target. So there's no doubt Man City are dominating that game. But it's only 2-1. So we just go for the rest of the halftime scores then. I didn't even know who was playing, but I know it is Brentford 0, Newcastle 3. Well, Harvey Barnes, Jacob Murphy, and Alexander Isak on his last appearance for Newcastle before he joins Arsenal, of course. Brighton 0, Manchester United 0. The second half's underway there. Burnley 0, Nottingham Forest 2. 2 goals for Chris Wood against his former club. Chelsea 1, Bournemouth 0. Casado scored that goal there. Crystal Palace 2, Aston Villa 0. 2 goals for Mateta. Liverpool 2, Wolves 0 on Klopp's last game. Nelson Semedo has been sent off, and Alex McAllister and Quansai have scored for Liverpool. It's Luton 1, Fulham 2. It's Adama Traore and Jimenez, the 2 former Wolves players, and it's a penalty from Calvin Morris for Luton. We know the Man City score, and it's Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 1. It's Kulishevsky with that goal there. So they are all your halftime scores from the final day of the Premier League. But there's only 2 that we even care about, really, isn't there? There's only 2 that we even care about. And so far, they're not really going our way, are they? But there's still 45 minutes left yet. Terry says, Palace finishing the season. Well, what a new manager. New manager bounce, isn't it? Obviously, you know, poor old boy was relieved of his duties. And they've done well. Yeah, they finished the season well. And it's funny, isn't it? You know, they're the sort of team that the way that the form's gone, you're pretty glad we didn't have to play them in the running. I'm sure Man City were glad they never had to play them either. But bearing in mind, Palace actually came back from 2-0 down at the Etihad to get a draw. Are West Ham going to repeat that today? They could do, couldn't they? Anyway, the teams are back out for the second half here at the Emirates, and it is. They're still. I don't think the second half started yet at Man City. Is there some sort of thing where they've got to delay? Obviously, we had 7 minutes of stoppage time at the end of our first half. Is there any way when in the second half they've got to delay their start to match our start? I don't know. I don't know if that's the case, but it doesn't look like the Man City game kicks off yet, does it? For the second half, or is it? Not sure. Anyway, we're just about to get off and underway for the second half here at the Emirates, where we need to go. Actually, we're not yet because Everton are just coming out of the tunnel. So I don't know what they were doing at half time, but they would be pleased with their first half, won't they? I'm sure Sean Dyche will be delighted with how that first half went, because their tactics were spot on for the away team in a game like this, where Everton haven't really, they can't really, they're going to either spoil the party or whatever it is. They can't do anything for their season. It's going to make no difference, is it? But Sean Dyche demands that, doesn't he, from his teams? And that was why I never felt that Everton were just going to roll over and die for us. I knew that it was going to be a tough game, and we'd have to work hard for the win. I thought we'd have to work hard for the win anyway, and obviously currently we're having to work hard for the win, and that's that's the way it is. Emerson says they've got Alexa on 5 Live for the City game, Arsenal on TV, and you on the phone. Final day drama. Oh, fantastic! What a way to finish the season. Anyway, it's going to be Everton to get us back off and underway for this second half. They are now taking the goal to our left, which is a north bank, of course, at the Emirates. So Arsenal taking a clock end in the second half. Unusual. I say, was that an Everton tactic to try and disrupt our flow? Quite potentially it was. Anyway, it's going to be Amadou Onana who's going to take the kick-off here for Everton at the start of this second half. And we are back off and underway. The final 45 minutes of the season, the final 45 minutes of this title race, which has ebbed and flowed all season, hasn't it? Liverpool up there at the start of the season looking as though they were going to maybe go on and win it. We had our moments at the top. Man City had their moments at the top. And it's now coming down to these final 45 minutes. It looks like Man City are slightly ahead of us. They played 47 minutes at the Etihad. So our game looks like it's going to finish after theirs, which could be quite tense, couldn't it? If their game finished in a draw and it's still a draw here, that could be really tense, couldn't it? But anyway, let's see what happens first. It is still Man City 2, West Ham 1, and Arsenal 1, Everton 1 here at the Emirates. Long ball played forward from Everton, headed away by Gabriel Martinelli on this near side. Keeps it in, but can't really keep the ball. But Arsenal do win it back with Thomas Partey. Now Declan Rice. Thomas Partey has been excellent today, hasn't he? In the midfield there. Tomiyasu, Arsenal's goal scorer there, tries to touch it back to Trossard. It's gone behind for a throw to Arsenal on that far side. Are we going to see the most dramatic second half of the season? Let's hope so. Gabriel now plays the ball square to William Saliba. Now Gabriel gets it back. We still need to win. Whatever happens at the Etihad, we still need to win. Even if Man City were to lose and we only draw, Man City still win the league. So we have to win this game. Nothing else is good enough for Arsenal. So let's focus on that for the time being. And what will be elsewhere. Anyway, Martinelli puts his cross into the penalty. Header comes in just wide from Kai Havertz there. That's the sort of service he likes. He's good in the air, isn't he? And he got on the end of that one, but he couldn't direct. It's a good cross actually there from Martinelli. That's what he's like when he's playing on his natural side. He can cross it with his right foot. He hasn't got to cut back inside all the time. Good header from Kai Havertz. Just couldn't quite direct it into that bottom corner. And it's gone behind for a goal kick, which again, Everton are going to waste time over. We know they're going to do that. Jordan Pickford's got a habit of doing that anyway. And that's what he's going to do. And that's what he is doing. But he has now taken that goal kick where Arsenal win the ball back straight away with a header from Declan Rice. Kai Havertz picks it up, and now Trossard over on that far side in the sunshine is just clipped. And it's going to be a free kick. It was James Garner, I think, that fouled him. And Arsenal taking it quickly. Ben White on this near side. It's still Manchester City 2, West Ham 1. Arsenal 1, Everton 1. Final day drama. Ball played out to that far side to Trossard. Cuts in field. Can he get the shot? No, he can't. He runs into trouble there, and Everton can bring the ball clear. And they've done that well, actually. You have to say today they have done that well. And they've just won a throw over on that far side in front of where their fans are gathered. We've played, 3 minutes of the second half. Man City are slightly ahead of us. We had a large chunk of stoppage time, didn't we, in that first half? There was injuries to Onana, there were injuries to Gay, and there was also injuries to Martinelli, which did lead to 7 minutes. I wonder what we're going to get in the second half. Let's see what happens. Anyway, Everton now playing the ball through midfield. There's a Dwight McNeil, but that wasn't a good pass to him, actually. He was caught on his heels there. And Arsenal pick up possession with Ben White, plays it all the way back to goalkeeper David Raya. This is, of course, the final 45 minutes of the season. Long ball played forward. They're looking for Martin Odegaard, but he can't get there. And it's headed back to goalkeeper Jordan Pickford. Just rolls the ball out. And all that's good play in midfield, actually, there under pressure was that Onana. He's done really well, actually. He's a good player, isn't he? Amadou Onana. He's a really good player. And Everton now play the ball out to that far side with Coleman dinks the ball over the top, looking for the run there of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Wasn't a good ball in actual fact, and it was headed away quite comfortably there by Gabriel, and now there's going to be a free kick to Arsenal, possibly a yellow card for Tarkowski as well. In fact, there is a yellow card for Tarkowski, the first yellow card for Everton, and the second one of the day following Thomas Partey, of course. He just got there a bit late, didn't he? James Tarkowski. So he's got to be careful now, hasn't he? One of their centre-backs on a yellow card, that's always good, isn't it? Especially someone like James Tarkowski who likes a good tackle, doesn't he? Very aggressive player. Now he's on a yellow card. He's just going to have to tone it down a little bit, and that's going to help us, isn't it, obviously, as we look for an opportunity to take the lead here and put a little bit more pressure back onto Man City, which it's been going their way for most of the afternoon. But that goal just before half-time for West Ham has given us a little bit of hope. Our goal before half-time as well. But we are still, of course, in second place as things stand. We played 5 minutes of the second half. Can Ben White keep this in? No, he can't. Thomas Partey dinked that ball over the top, and Ben White couldn't quite keep it in. It's gone behind for a goal kick. And the second half hasn't really ignited yet, has it? Quite. But either team, it's not just Arsenal. I don't think the game's really come to life yet in this second half. Arsenal have been not quite at their best since the break. That goal before half-time would have given us a big lift. Well, the 2 goals before half-time would have given us a big lift in both games, but it doesn't seem to have done that so far. But anyway, it's still a lot of time left to play. And that header there again from Thomas Partey. A great game. Kai Havertz has got him behind here. Kai Havertz just inside the penalty. Oh, good defending in the end. It was just by Jared Branthwaite there. It looked as though Kai Havertz had just got the wrong side of him there and was going to be clean through on goal. But that was good defending again. He's had a good game, Branthwaite. He's a good player as well, isn't he? I think they've got some decent players there, but I'm not quite sure why they struggle. Yeah, okay, the points deduction. But even without that, they'd still only be mid-table, wouldn't they? And they've got some really good players. I'm quite surprised they're not maybe doing a bit better than they are. But anyway. Arsenal position over on that far side. Trossard brings it infield, touches it into Thomas Partey. He's been great today, probably our best player so far. Gets the ball back again. Thomas Partey plays it out to Declan Rice. Now it's been moved on again to Tomiyasu, the Arsenal goal scorer. He's had a good game as well, hasn't he? Apart from his goal, he's had a decent game. And Thomas Partey again been dictating that play in the middle of the park. Plays out to this near side. Martin Odegaard in the Saka position. Ben White's gone round the outside, which is what he tends to do. Martin Odegaard looking to try and get across it. He plays it back instead. Partey plays it into Ben White. Ben White tries to pull it back. Comes off the Everton defender. In fact, it doesn't. It comes back off Ben White, and it is going to be a throw. It was Ashley Young there with the defending. Showed his experience there. You know, he's got a lot of experience, isn't he? Because he's about 52 years old, Ashley Young. Been playing the game for a very long time. And he showed his experience there, didn't he? It is going to be Ashley Young to take this throw as well. He puts his walking stick down to be able to take that as well. It wasn't a bad throw, but Arsenal are going to get the ball back there. It's Ben White who's going to take the throw for Arsenal on this near side in the attacking third. It is still Man City 2, West Ham 1. Are they feeling it's a bit of tension, Man City, maybe? We don't know. I don't know how that game's playing out, but it looks as though they dominated that first half. But are they now starting to feel a little bit of tension? Maybe they are. Maybe they are. Who knows? Anyway, Ben White's going to take another throw for Arsenal on this near side. As Arsenal, but I say, Man City's result isn't going to matter if we don't win this game. And so far, it's still 1-1, and Everton have defended well. But there's still plenty of time left in this game. Thomas Partey tries to get the ball square, and Everton have picked up possession again in midfield. Their goal scorer, Idrissa Gana Gueye, plays it up this near side, and that's a long ball forward over on that far side, looking for the run of Abdoulaye Doucouré, having a big battle there with Gabriel. And the two have a bit of a clash there, and Gabriel's gone down. And I'm not sure that there was too much in that, if I'm honest. Gabriel seemed to back into Doucouré, and Doucouré's actually got a yellow card. He's a bit unfortunate there, I think. There, Abdoulaye Doucouré. Gabriel seemed to be the more the aggressor there. He backed into him, to Gabriel, and Gabriel's gone down. And I'm not sure if that really was a yellow card offence there from Doucouré. Let's have a look at the replay again. It was a good battle. They were both at each other. And Gabriel seemed to back into him, didn't he? With an arm. And I don't know whether or not. I don't know, actually. It was probably a bit of both. It was probably a little bit of 50-50. So the fact that Doucouré's got booked and not Gabriel is maybe slightly baffling. But anyway, that's what happened. It was a bit of a 50-50. They were both battling it out between themselves there. And that was a result. And it is a yellow card to Doucouré. Second Everton player booked now. Martinelli on this near side pulls it back to the edge of the box. And Gay's done well there, actually. And now Calvert-Lewin, who's had to plow a long furrow up front for much of this game today, but he's done well. And he did, of course, hit the post very early on as well in their first half, didn't he? Almost gave Everton a lead, or they did, of course, get the lead eventually. That's a long ball played forward up this near side, looking for the pace of Dwight McNeil, but he won't quite get there. And Ben White is going to take that throw quickly. We're coming up towards the 55th minute. We're into the 55th minute here at the Emirates, so 10 minutes of the second half. Not an awful lot's happened in the second half, actually, so far. Emerson says we really need a goal. Yes, we do really need a goal, just to ease a little bit of tension here and put a little bit more pressure on Man City, because it is only still 2-1 there. Now Martinelli coming forward up this near side, plays it back to Ben White. Ben White tries to play a square. It's not a good ball, and it's Idrissa Gana Gueye again. He's had a really good game in midfield. Him and Onana have been really impressive. And now suddenly Everton looking to break forward. They've got a player free over on the far side. He plays the right ball. Oh, it's a good ball. What's going to happen here? Declan Rice covered well, actually. It was James Garner making ground up that far side. And that was a dangerous moment for Everton, actually, on the counter-attack. They've played the counter-attacks quite well when they've had the opportunity to. And that was good play, actually, from Everton. What we don't need is Everton to score a second goal, because that would then make it really, really tough for us, wouldn't it? Having to score two more in the second half. The way the second half's gone, we haven't really created a big opportunity yet, have we? The Kai Havertz header was about the closest we've come, and that went quite far wide in the end. And Everton coming forward again up this near side. Dwight McNeil closed down by Ben White, plays the ball back to Ashley Young. He's actually done all right, seeing as he gets his pension tomorrow. Anyway, now the ball's inside the centre circle with Abdoulaye Doucouré, finds Ashley Young again. Gabriel looks like he's got a bit of an injury, actually, to his arm, maybe his shoulder. He's not moving too comfortably there, is he, Gabriel? And if he has to go off, that could be, he's gone down. Gabriel's gone down with a shoulder injury. This is not looking good, is it? Who have we got on the bench that can come in and play there? Kiwior is the only one. And has he played centre-back yet for us? I can't remember a game when he has done. It looks as though Zinchenko might be coming on. So are we thinking of maybe playing Thomas Partey in that position? It was following that clash with Doucouré, actually, that Gabriel seems to have got that injury. It's a shoulder injury. Is he going to be able to carry on? And we're bringing Zinchenko on. I mean, that is just madness. Why are we not bringing Kiwior on? Kiwior is a natural left-footed centre-back, right? He's a natural left-footed centre-back, Kiwior. He's on the bench. What's he on the bench for? Why are we not bringing him on? This is what his job is. His job is to cover for Gabriel getting an injury, isn't he? Because he's a left-footed, left-sided centre-back. And what he's going to do is he's going to play a midfield player in central defence, probably Thomas Partey, to bring Zinchenko in. And that is going to cost us, because we know what Zinchenko's like. Ridiculous. Emerson says, if he's injured, I can't help but feel that was his own fault. Absolutely, yeah, it was his own fault. He instigated that clash, didn't he, with Decore? I thought he was unlucky, Decore, to get a yellow card for that, because I thought Gabriel instigated that. He tried to lash out, didn't he? He tried to lash out, and he's ended up getting injured. And if he has to go off, then it is his own fault, really, I agree. But there's no excuse for bringing Zinchenko on. There's absolutely no excuse for that at all, because we've got a left-sided centre-back on the bench in Jacob Kiwior, who's played a lot of games this season, none as a left-sided centre-back, it has to be said. But even so, that's his natural position. So why are we not even thinking of doing that? Just craziness, man, crazy. And these are some of these decisions that Arteta makes that really, really frustrate me, and I don't understand them. It just winds me up. I mean, Gabriel looks like he's not going to be able to continue. He's in a lot of pain. In fact, he isn't going to be able to continue, and they are making the substitution, and it is going to be Zinchenko coming on. I mean, what on earth are we thinking here? It looks like he's going to be dropping one of them midfielders into central defence. Surely that's what he's thinking of. That's what he's. Or is he playing Tomiyasu there? Oh no, there's a goal at the Etihad. There is another goal at the Etihad, and it isn't good news for Arsenal. It is that man Rodri, and what a soft goal that is as well. It's a really soft goal. Rodri has scored. It is now 3-1 to Manchester City, and there's half an hour to play. Looks like it's all over. It looks like it's all over. Terry says 3-1. John says 3-1. Emerson, game over. Terry says Zinchenko is Arteta's reason we didn't win it. Well, he's one of the big reasons we didn't win it, yeah. Looks like Tomiyasu's playing centre-back. Honestly, what is wrong with bringing Kiwior on when he's a natural left-sided centre-back? Tomiyasu's a right-back who's had to play left-back because Zinchenko's so crap. And now he's brought Zinchenko on to play left-back so he can play Tomiyasu at centre-back when he's a right-back. And we've got a left-sided centre-back on the bench. This is one of the reasons why I don't think we'll ever win a league with Mikel Arteta as manager, because he doesn't make the simple decisions. He overcomplicates it. He's moved two players into the wrong positions to accommodate Zinchenko, who's crap. Anyway, Martinelli now is coming forward, puts a cross in. It's a dangerous ball right to the far post. Trossard hasn't really got much in this game, has he, Leandro Trossard today? And he's been snuffled out again. And Coleman completes the clearance, the Everton captain. Vijandra says Tomiyasu will go. Tomiyasu won't go to left back because Zinchenko's come on to play left back. Tomiyasu's got a centre back, isn't he? Left-sided centre back. When we've got a left-sided centre back on the bench, a natural one, just bring him on. Anyway, Martin Odegaard plays the ball up this near side to Martinelli, and he plays it back again to Martin Odegaard. And then he finds Ben White, chips the ball in towards the near post, and again, Braithwaite's there. He's had a good game, Braithwaite. There we go. Atakunda says, I don't like that guy Zinchenko. So cool. Tomiyasu's all right. Tomiyasu's decent, but he's not a centre back. He's naturally a right back, but he can play left back. That's fine, but not a centre back. We've got a centre back on the bench. Zinchenko is just a liability. He is a liability. And if Everton do score another goal and win this game, you can guarantee it will come from a mistake from Zinchenko being out of position or giving the ball away or doing something stupid. And that's what will happen. And it would be down to him. Well, actually, I wouldn't even blame him. I'd blame Mikel Arteta for making the substitution. Anyway, Tomiyasu now in possession, finds Zinchenko over on that far side. Secunda says, I don't feel safe when the two of them start the game. I mean, Tomiyasu's all right. I've got no issue with Tomiyasu. Yes, I don't feel safe when Zinchenko's on the pitch. No, absolutely not, because we know he's a liability. He's an accident waiting to happen, isn't he? And that ball's chipped forward there from Thomas Partey to Trossard over on that far side, and still was a sunny cross comes in, and again Everton deal with it pretty well. And Ashley Young puts down his Zimmer frame and clears the ball away, but William Saliba picks that clearance up and plays it up the line to Ben White. It is Manchester City 3, West Ham 1, which is really more important at the moment. But we still need to win this game, because you never know. We need to be in a position that we could win it. If some miracle West Ham come back. Anyway, Everton coming forward again with Gay finds Dominic Calvert-Lewin on this near side. Dominic Calvert-Lewin having a little run at William Saliba, cuts in field. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with a shot. Good save from David Raya. That's why he's got the golden gloves. That was a good save. It was. He looked like he was going to bend that into the far corner there. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's in good goal scoring form at the moment. Herman says, sometimes I question Arteta and Jonas' decision making. Yeah, I always question Arteta's decision making pretty much every single game. Anyway, Terry says, Arteta brought on Zinchenko, now Trossard has to play left back. Well, yeah, he's got a natural left-footed centre back on the bench. I don't get it, honestly. I do not understand. I do not understand it. Anyway, this is one of the reasons. This is why we are always coming up short. Decisions like this. And Zinchenko is going to let us concede a goal again. You can almost guarantee it. Anyway, Martinelli now down this near side, goes around the outside. Good play. The cross comes in. Oh, and it's a bit of a mix-up there between Branthwaite and Jordan Pickford. And Arsenal got a corner. Arsenal have got a corner. And we're midway through this second half. And maybe Jordan Pickford should have called for that, and he didn't. And they two got in each other's way. We did call for it a bit late, actually. Branthwaite ducked out of the way. And in the end, he had to push it over the top there, Jordan Pickford, with his little arms. But he's a corner to Arsenal. Martin Odegaard's going to take this. It's our first corner of the second half, in actual fact. And it is going to be Martin Odegaard with it. Curls it in. Header at the near post from Tomiyasu. It's going to be another corner. I think it is going to be another corner. And let's see what happens from this one. It's going to be cross. It comes out to Declan Rice. He's going to hit it. Declan Rice over the top of the crossbar. It's gone. And another Arsenal opportunity goes big. We've not had too many in the second half, have we? Let's be honest. Just showing Dominic Calvert-Lewin's effort just a moment ago. He did well there, Calvert-Lewin, and he got a lot of power behind that shot. But that's a good save from David Raya. Maybe it was one for the cameras a little bit, but it was fairly close to him. It was a good save. It was a really good save. And it keeps the score at 1-1. Anyway, Arsenal picked the ball up again, but that ball from Thomas Partey, is it going to be kept in on this near side? I don't think it was, by Ben White. And it's going to be a throw. In fact, it was Martinelli tracking back there. It's going to be a throw to Everton on this near side. Terry says, Arsenal fans don't help thinking Arteta can't do no wrong. I'm hoping he jacks in after the game for failing. Well, he won't, will he? Let's be honest. He's not going anywhere, is he? We all know that. And when he keeps making the same mistakes time after time, that's what frustrates me. You know, it's a terrible substitution, that. Honestly, it's a terrible substitution. And there's a massive load of space over on that far side, on Tomiyasu's side of the pitch. Coleman couldn't quite get there. So the ball's got out for a throw-in. And we'll see what's going to happen from a tactical perspective in the remainder of this game. We've played 66 minutes here at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 1, Everton 1 on this last day. The title is still up for grabs. It is Manchester City 3, West Ham 1. But who knows? Is there going to be some late drama in these last 25 minutes or so that remain in both games? Thomas Partey now in possession for Arsenal, finds Ben White. Plays up his near side. Martinelli, who's not in a bad second half, really. He cuts in field. He's going to try a shot. It's across towards the far post. Header comes in. Oh, has it hit the post on the bar? I'm not sure what happened. The cross comes back in again, and Jordan Pickford saved that one. Was it Kai Havertz's header? Did it come back off the woodwork there? In fact, the linesman's flag is up for offside. In any case, it would not have counted. Well, we say it wouldn't have counted. I suppose VAR would have got involved. He wasn't offside, actually. He wasn't offside. I mean, Trossard was behind him. In fact, he did it to woodwork, but it did come back to Trossard. So, obviously, the first header, if that went in, that would have actually counted. Hit the outside of the post, actually. And then Trossard was offside for the rebound. So there you go. It remains 1-1, but now Arsenal pick the ball up again. Martin Odegaard bringing it forward, touches it off, and Arsenal getting possession. Thomas Partey. Atakunda says Arsenal did best for this season. He better off than Jonas. Well, not much better, really. Arsenal finished, the women have finished third, and it looks like the men are going to finish second. So not a lot different, is it, really? Anyway, Everton again have snuffled out another Arsenal attack. And they can now come forward themselves up this near side. Dwight McNeil plays a ball into Calvert-Lewin, makes it stick as he always does. Good centre forward play. He's had a decent game, hasn't he, Calvert-Lewin? He's not had much possession of the ball. He's had to run alone, barrel alone. Anyway, Arsenal now making two substitutions. Emil Smith-Rowe finally gets an opportunity in a big game. And Joan Timber as well. We did say, didn't we, Timber's only other appearance in the first game of the season. and his last appearance is going to be the last game of the season. Has anyone else ever had that before? Oh, the ball played through the centre. Is it? Oh, no, David Ray's there. Thought like Dominic Calvert-Lewin might have been in. In fact, there's an injury there to Tarkowski. Rajendra says, you don't like Zinchenko. No, I don't like him because he's not very good. That's why I don't like him. It's not that I don't like him. He's just not a very good player. Oh, actually, Declan Rice is a bit lucky there not to get a yellow card. Very late challenge there on Tarkowski. In fact, he did get a yellow card. I was going to say he should have got a yellow card for that because that was a very, very late challenge. And the two substitutions now, Ben White's going off and Joan Timber's coming on. His first game since August. Wow, incredible for a new signing. I say, has it ever happened before? 2 appearances, 1 in the first game, 1 in the last game. And Emil Smith-Rowe's come on as well. I'm not sure who's gone off for him yet. Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey played all right there, didn't he, actually? Anyway, Emil Smith-Rowe's come on for Thomas Partey. So a slight change of shape. And Joan Timber is on as well, who's been a long time waiting for him, hasn't he? Mark C says, why on earth are we bringing these two on now? They're not up to Gaze's at all. Well, exactly. I don't know. It seems madness, unless he knows that Man City aren't going to drop points. So he thinks, well, just do it anyway. Why not? We are into the last 20 minutes here at the Emirates. We're into the last 20 minutes at the Etihad. Arsenal now streaming forward. Trossard over on that far side. Havertz is waiting on the edge of the penalty. Trossard tries to go around the outside. That is good defending from Coleman. You have to say, Greg says there, Arteta has more money than the women, but yet he can't see he needs a striker. That's bad management. That's one thing, but also as well, he can't see that when you've got a natural left-sided centre-back on your bench and your left-sided centre-back gets injured, you make a like-for-like swap. You don't change it. You don't change the whole thing and start playing players out of position just to get your friends on the team. It's ridiculous. That's not how you win top trophies, and that's why we don't win top trophies, and we never will with this manager. Emerson says this game shouldn't be 1-1. If we wanted to win the league, it should be 3-0 no matter how well Everton play. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, exactly. That's 100%. That is exactly right. You know, we shouldn't be fannying about faffing on in a game like this, should we? Everton at home. You know, look, Man City are getting the job done. And if this was Man City playing Everton today, even if Everton were playing like this, Man City would probably be 3-0 up or 3-1 up. Maybe, but they'd certainly be winning this game, wouldn't they? Terry says City absolutely dominating West Ham. Well, of course they do, because Man City are a proper team that know what they're doing, a proper manager. We're all nice. We're all nice little guys that get on with each other really well. We know what the issues are. We know what the issues are, but unfortunately, the vast majority of Arsenal's fans don't want to listen to it. They don't want to hear it. They would much rather pretend that Mikel Arteta is actually Pep Guardiola in disguise when in fact he isn't. And we're going to have to suffer more of this for the next few years, aren't we? Coming up short. And when it matters, not being able to get the job over the line. And I absolutely agree, right? Whether Man City was to win their game 6-0 today, right? We have to win this game. We should go on and win it. We should win this game. There's a chance now. A shot there. Oh, it's blocked. Was that Emil Smith-Rowe? Or was it Ødegaard? I think it might have been Ødegaard. They've got quite similar hair, actually. I think it was Martin Ødegaard there with a chance, but it was blocked. Timber now is playing on this near side, linking up with Martinelli. Fires a cross in. So he's playing. So Timber, who's a left back, is playing right back. Tommy Asu, who's a right back, is playing centre back. We've got a left-sided centre back on the bench who's not even come on. Honestly, can someone make this make sense? Can somebody make this make sense? Because I can't make any sense of it. Terry says, why risk Timber? But it's nice ESR to get one last time. Yeah, no, ESR to get a one chance. Absolutely, yeah. He's probably going to be leaving, isn't he? Anyway, we've got a corner. Martin Ødegaard's going to take it, whips it into that near post, comes out to the edge of the box, and it's cleared away again by Everton. Oh, and there's a breakaway here, possibly. Decore bringing it forward. He's a good player as well. I've always liked Decore. When he plays for Watford, he was good, wasn't he? And Everton now, I'm sure that's going to be a yellow card inside the centre circle. It is a yellow card. I'm not sure who committed that foul, actually. It was Timber. Timber, who's just come on, has got a yellow card. So there you go. That was a terrible challenge, actually. It was a terrible challenge. So there you go. Regenda says that all men's teams have more money than the women's teams. Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, at the moment they do, because obviously they've got more money, haven't they? There's more money in the sport. And Martin Odegaard really should have scored there. It was a good, decent save, actually. Braithwaite, again, was in the way, along with Pickford. He's been brilliant, actually, Braithwaite. And I do think if Everton do get a draw here, he's certainly going to be with a shout of man of the match, isn't he? Jared Braithwaite. What a performance from that young man. He should be surely playing for England or getting in England squad for the Euros. He's had a brilliant game. Anyway, Arsenal now looking a little bit more. We're looking a little bit more fired up now to try and win this game. And we're coming forward over on that far side with Trossard. We played 73 minutes. And Man City are slightly ahead of us, but they are winning 3-1. That's a desperate shot there from who was that? Trossard. Arsenal still in possession though. Emil Smith-Rowe lines up a shot from the edge of the box, but he curls it wide on what may well be his last appearance for Arsenal. Rajendra says there, I'm sure Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea have brilliant managers. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do have brilliant managers. Anyway, Calvert-Lewin is now going to be taken off for Everton. Oh, no, he's not actually. Oh, is he? Or is Onana going off? I'm not sure. Anyway, I think Calvert-Lewin is going off. Fought Lone Borough up front today, didn't he? Thought he played well. Didn't get much of the ball, but when he did, he used it well, didn't he? And it is going to be who's coming on, actually? I'm not quite sure who's coming on. Shamiti, I've never even heard of him. Shamiti, there we go. Rajendra says Arteta is useless compared to them. See, you're starting to see sense now, my friend. Good, I like to see that. You're absolutely right. Atakunda says, oh my God, can we just win this game? Well, exactly, yeah. Let's just win this game, but we're not going to, are we, by the look of it? Although you never know. Stranger things have happened. But we've certainly huffed and puffed for most of this game, haven't we? Without really looking like we're going to blow down the Everton house. Timber now in possession, plays it back to William Saliba. Now it's played out to that far side. Zinchenko, luckily, he hasn't had much of the ball to make any mistakes as yet. But now he's out of position, you see. This is what we say. He's out of position. Everton coming forward in that space. He does it all the time, and Everton got an opportunity here. Ball played into the near post. The substitute just come on, couldn't quite get there. But that's the problem with Zinchenko. He loses the ball when he's miles up the pitch. There's massive space behind him, and we tend to concede goals from that. It's happened so many times. We see it every single time he plays him, and yet Mikel Arteta seems blind to it. He seems blind to it. Mark C says, yes, going out on a home when he's needed for the fans. Absolutely, yeah, of course, we've got to win this game, regardless of what happens at Man City. We said that before. We just have to win this game. And I'm not sure with the substitutions that we've made that we really want to win this game. Anyway, we've got a chance now. Kai Havertz, no, we haven't because the whistle's gone. Kai Havertz puts the ball in the net, but the whistle had gone a long time ago. And it is going to be a free kick. I'm not quite sure. Was it offside? Did the ball go out? No, I think it went out, actually. I think it did go out. Anyway, the whistle had gone long before Kai Havertz put the ball in the net after jinking past about three very half-hearted challengers who had heard the whistle. Anyway, at the Etihad, it is Manchester City 3, Arsenal, West Ham 1. It is Arsenal 1, Everton 1. And as things stand, Man City are going to be 4 points ahead of us at the end of it all. After 30, of course, it wasn't 5 points last year. Oh well, we've made one. We've closed the gap by 1 point this year, so well done. Hopefully next year we might close it by another 1 point, and then we'll be 3 points away. Anyway, we'll make another substitution now. And again, it's another one of Mikel Arteta's favourites. It is Gabriel Jesus. He's bringing him on as well, so another useless waste of space is coming on. And I wonder who's going to go off. Probably not Kai Havertz because he's actually done all right. And that free kick from Everton is going to run all the way through to David Raya. Terry says, send him back to Ukraine. Mind you, if he ain't got no fight, he's not going to be much use out there. No, well, not that really matters too much, but yeah, I'll send him anywhere other than playing for Arsenal. He's just not good enough. Anyway, Declan Rice now bringing the ball forward for Arsenal. Finds Zinchenko over on that far side. Every time he gets the ball, you think, please don't lose it. Please don't lose it. Anyway, Mark C says, will Jesus save us? Well, I don't know, maybe. There's certain people in the world that believe he will, not just Arsenal fans. Anyway, Timber now plays the ball square to Declan Rice. Now it's with Zinchenko. He's certainly not going to save us, is he? Let's be honest. Anyway, we're coming up towards the last 13 minutes of this game, and it is still 1-1, and Man City is still winning 3-1. And the title is heading back to the Etihad 4 in a row. The first time that has ever happened in English football history. and it's Trossard that goes off. Trossard didn't really get into this game much, did he, today? And it's going to be Gabriel Jesus to come on for these last, 12-13 minutes of the season. Atakunda says the start lineup, I didn't like it. And the start lineup was all right in the circumstances. What we had, it was fine. Just obviously Saka injured. But anyway, it's not quite worked out for us today. But maybe Jesus will save us. Who knows? Let's wait and see. I'm not quite sure he's going to save us from, because he can't really save us from Man City, can he? Anyway, Zinchenko has found Jesus over on that far side. Now he finds Declan Rice. That's a ball played up looking again for Zinchenko, but it was cleared away by Everton. And Jesus now picks it up again. Oh, and he's given the ball away, or did he lose it? And now Everton have got one striker up on his own, but Jesus wins the ball back. He did well there, you see. He lost the ball and he won it back, and that's fair enough. Well done, Jesus, for that. Unfortunately, your job, mate, is to score goals at the other end of the pitch. But anyway, you lost the ball and you won it back. So fair play to you. That is all you can do. So well done. Anyway, we're into the last 10 minutes at the Etihad. And are West Ham going to find some sort of late drama? Are we going to find some late drama here? Martinelli now, and the near side puts a cross in towards the far post. It's over hit. It's going to go out for a throw over on that far side to Everton. And the title is drifting away from Arsenal. It has been drifting away from Arsenal probably for quite some time, when we're honest. Mark C says, Rich, have you got a date and time in mind for your season look back show? This week. It's going to be this week. Not tomorrow. Maybe Tuesday, potentially. Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll speak to the guys anyway and see what they say, what night they can do, and we'll come out on probably Tuesday or Wednesday, I would say, potentially. Would probably work best for us, but I'll speak to them and see what they say. But we will have that this week, and of course next Friday is going to be the women's end of season show as well, so it's going to be a busy week before we finish for the summer. Well, we're not going to finish completely for the summer. We'll be doing more stuff throughout the summer as well. Obviously the Euros is on, so we'll look at, obviously be doing some stuff on that as well. Of course we will, the England games and what have you. I'm going away for a week in the middle of all of that, but anyway, we will find some stuff for it. But yeah, it'll be probably Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'll put a thing out on the channel when I'll get it sorted. I'll speak to the lads after the game tonight. I am on Talk TV this evening as well, 7:20, looking back on this game and looking back on maybe the season in as a whole, the title race. So join me for that at 7:20 if you can. Anyway, Martinelli now on this near side, the ball played back to Timber, and he keeps possession, touches it back to William Saliba, and then Arsenal won a free kick, a foul there by Dwight McNeil on Martin Ødegaard. We have played 81 minutes here. They've played 82 minutes at the Etihad. And Manchester City are very, very close to a fourth league title in a row. Never, ever been done before in English football history. 1888 was when league football started in this country. Nobody's ever won a league title 4 seasons in a row. It's about to happen. A little bit of history being made today. This free kick comes in from Martin Ødegaard. Again, it's an Everton head. They have defended well in this game. You do have to give them credit, but we've just been flat. And, you know, it's almost like, is there really a title resting on this game? Well, there was. Not so much now. Anyway, Terry says 565 million Arteta wasted down. Well, he hasn't wasted all of it. You know, we've got Declan Rice, who's a very good player. Well, else I've just given the ball away, but Everton can't make the most of that. You know, we've got some good players out of it as well, haven't we? Obviously, Gabriel has been great. Declan Rice as well. You know, good signings. Martin Ødegaard's coming. He's done a great job, hasn't he? So we you know, we've made some good signings. We've got some good players, but we've also bought some absolute shockers. There's no question about that as well. He has wasted a lot of money and had to replace players that he brought in because they didn't work. You know, you've got to wonder sometimes, haven't you? Look at the Aaron Ramsdale thing. Now he bought him for 35 million, and we might get 15 million for him. Incredible. And that just goes to show the talent idea of him and they do. Anyway, Martinelli now puts a cross in towards the far post. It's a volley, hits the top of the crossbar from Emil Smith-Rowe. be nice for him to get a goal on what will surely be his last appearance at the Emirates, his last game for Arsenal. And that cross comes in there. A volley into the ground, and it hits the top of the crossbar there. And Emil Smith Rowe almost got his, what would probably surely be his final goal for Arsenal. Here's a goal kick to Everton in front of the Everton fans behind that goal. It is Arsenal 1, Everton 1. And Arsenal aren't going to get the job done today, are they? By the look of it, and win our game, which we had to do. We had to rely on West Ham to help us out as well today. Pickford just got a yellow card for time wasting, which he could have already got a yellow card. He's wasted time pretty much since the 10th minute. But anyway, he's finally got a yellow card, so he might hurry himself up a bit now, mightn't he, for the rest of this game. But we shall see. Anyway, let's have a look and see what happens. Terry says, yes, that's why I put 5-6-5 instead of 6. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's pretty clever, actually. I didn't catch on to that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Declan Rice has been a great signing. There's no doubt about that. Anyway, it's a free kick to Arsenal over on that far side. Martin Odegaard is going to take this for Arsenal, whips it into the edge of the 6-yard box. Again, it's a big Everton head of Braithwaite. Heads that away. He's been pretty decent today, hasn't he? Jared Braithwaite for Everton. Now Martin Odegaard trying to come forward again. And again, Arsenal lose the ball. And now Everton can break. And they do get players forward quickly on the break, don't they? They're coming forward over on that far side. Slightly overran there. And Declan Rice nipped in and won it back. Greg says, is there a night school class for tactics that Arteta can go to? Well, I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, Martinelli now inside the box. Is this going to be the moment? Pulls it back. The wrong choice again from Martinelli. He's got into some good positions, but he hasn't quite managed to get the right pass. Mark Lee says, come on, lads. Terry says, well, Palace 5. Are they 5-0 up? Well, fair play to Palace. We'll look at all the final scores afterwards. Anyway, Arsenal on that far side with Jesus, plays it back to Zinchenko and gets it back again. And we're into the last 5 minutes here at the Emirates, the last 5 minutes of the season. It's going to end empty-handed for Arsenal once again. Man City is still 3-1 up. Martinelli now plays it to Havertz inside the box, touches it off to Martin Odegaard. Can he get a shot away? He maybe should have got a shot away. Instead, Zinchenko crosses it, it's deflected. Braithwaite heads it behind again. And again, he's kind of, sometimes he's been a little bit too keen, hasn't he, to head everything away. I think Jordan Pickford could have come for that. But anyway, it's a corner to Arsenal as we move into the closing stages of this match and this season. And what is going to probably be another season of frustration. Mark C says his crossing and passing choice have been all wrong today. So, well, yeah, they have. Yeah, he's got in good positions, but his final ball's been nowhere near good enough. And that's where you miss Saka, don't you? Because most of the time his delivery is so good. Anyway, that corner wasn't too bad at near post. It's headed away by West Ham. It was Declan Rice with it. Now we've got a little bit of space here. Jesus inside the box gets a shot in. Oh, it's fired wide. And did that get a deflection on the way? I'm not sure. I think it might have done. Oh, it was Braithwaite actually nearly headed into his own net. I say he's been so keen to head everything, hasn't he? On the week that they've banned heading from junior football, Braithwaite's literally tried to head every single ball. Anyway, Martin Odegaard puts a cross in. It's headed away again. I don't think that was Braithwaite that time. In fact, it might well have been in actual fact. Anyway, Martin Odegaard's got the ball again on this near side. Finds Gabriel Jesus. And Everton again have managed to clear the ball away. And it's going to be Arsenal to win that header there. But with Saliba, but the second ball there only falls to Everton, but Smith Rowe steps in. Now the ball's played up this near side to Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli crosses it. Header comes in from Havertz. It's over the crossbar. And another Arsenal chance goes begging. Martinelli it was there with the cross. That time, we did get a good cross in that time, Martinelli. And it was Kai Havertz there. He really needs to put that in target, doesn't he? Wasn't quite able to, and it's gone and he kicks the post in frustration. Kai Havertz, he knows he should have done better with that header. He really should have, but he wasn't able to. And that is that. Oh, there's been a goal at the Etihad. There's another goal at the Etihad. It is Manchester City 3, West Ham 2. Thomas Souček We still need one more goal from West Ham and one goal for us if it's going to go our way. Anyway, it is 3-2 to Matt. Oh, and suddenly Everton have picked up the ball here. Dwight McNeil on this near side. We're into the last minute at the Etihad. We're into the last 2 minutes here. There could still be some late drama. It is West Ham have just pulled another goal back. It is 3-2. But it's not going to be enough, of course, as we know. Oh, and suddenly Everton are giving the ball away. And now Gabriel Jesus. And it's Martin Odegaard. Is this going to be the moment? Martin Odegaard misses it. And Kai Havertz puts it in. And Arsenal have scored in the final couple of minutes of this game. Is it going to be the goal that's going to make us champions or not? It is 3-2 to Manchester City. And it is now 2-1 to Arsenal. A bit like the end of the first half, there was drama at both ends, both games. Sorry, there's been drama at both games here as well. At the end of this game, a poor mistake at the back from Everton. Martin Odegaard then shot wasn't quite able to be finished off, and Kai Havertz is there. Is there going to be a VAR check here? Oh, hang on, the West Ham goal was disallowed. The West Ham goal was disallowed at Manchester City. It's actually still 3-1. So we can maybe not quite get as excited as we were. Mark C says, come on, you Reds. Kai Havertz was there to finish it off. And it is 2-1 to Arsenal, but it's probably not going to be enough as the second West Ham goal was disallowed for handball. And this one might be disallowed for handball as well. That would be strange, wouldn't it? I don't know who handballed it. Kai Havertz is looking frustrated, and the referee is now going to come across, and maybe the Arsenal goal is going to be disallowed as well. It's two. Well, we had drama at the end of the first half. We've got drama at the end of the second half, but this one might be going against us as the West Ham goal's been disallowed, and this one might well be disallowed as well. Did Jesus handball that there in the build-up? It's hit his elbow, actually. It's hit his elbow, and there's going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time anyway. I mean, I would say that's probably handball when you look at it. I would say that it's probably handball because it's hit his elbow here. He's pushed it forward like that. I think this will be disallowed. I think it'll be disallowed for that handball. And in the end, Kai Havertz has scored. He wasn't offside. Has it been allowed? Has it been disallowed? Not quite sure. Oh, the goal's been given. The goal's been given. The goal has been given. It is still 2-1 to Arsenal. Emerson said if that's disallowed, it's corruption. Well, I mean, it did come off his arm. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, it's been given. It is 2-1 to Arsenal. It's probably not going to matter too much in the overall scheme of things because it is 3-1 to Manchester City against West Ham. But it looks like Arsenal are at least going to finish the season with a win, which we probably fully deserved. And Kai Havertz has scored another goal. There was going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time, but I think it's going to be a bit more than 5. I mean, it has hit his elbow. Anyway, Martin Odegaard kind of miskicked, actually, and Kai Havertz was on hand to finish it off. The fox in the box that we've been waiting for, haven't we, all season. The fox in the box, Kai Havertz, has scored the goal, and there was going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time, but it's going to be probably another 5 minutes now. Emerson says, "Oh, actually, that's a dodgy one." I thought he hit his arm. I thought he hit his elbow. But anyway, we'll take it. There's been a few substitutions there. Beto has just come on for Decore for Everton as we restart. Arsenal are winning this game. Terry said, "Do you think Odegaard meant that? Well, he meant to miskick it. He did miskick it. That's what he did. He obviously didn't mean to." Anyway, Arsenal are winning, but it isn't going to matter because Man City are also winning, and they're winning by 2 goals, and they are into stoppage time there as well. We are into stoppage time here. Martinelli. Oh, that's a great run for Martinelli. Is it going to be 3-1 here as well? Again, no, he couldn't get the right final ball, could he, Martinelli? And Everton do clear the ball away again. And Arsenal have at least won this game. We've made an absolute drama out of it. much more of a drama than we needed to do. And anyway, it's not going to quite be enough, you feel, unless West Ham can do something quite extraordinary in the last few moments at the Etihad. They are 3-1 down. The second goal was disallowed. That Souček scored. I think was that like handball as well. Strange goings on all over the place. Anyway, we have played 3 minutes of the 5. There's going to be more stoppage time without a shadow of a doubt. And they are still playing at the Etihad. It is still 3-1. Looks like Arsenal are going to end the season empty-handed, even though we may well have won this game now. And we probably just about deserve to win. It's been a struggle. We haven't created masses and masses of chances in the second half. I thought that we played better in the first half, funnily enough. We had to come from behind. But we are going to finish with another win to take us to 89 points, the second highest total ever in Premier League history for us. Or the second highest total ever at all. Terry says, if 29 pen last week counted, that can't be handball. Well, yeah, that's true. Anyway, Timber plays the ball forward and Everton have headed it down. There's still obviously time for Everton to still get another goal, or Arsenal to get another goal. But is there time for West Ham to get another 2 goals? You probably feel not. Anyway, Arsenal are still coming forward. Emil Smith-Rowe plays it out to that far side to Zinchenko. And there's a free kick to Arsenal. Jesus has been fouled. Mark C says, obvious handball by Souček. VAR was always going to chalk that off. Okay, I haven't seen it, so I'll watch them all later, I'm sure. Anyway, Arsenal taking a free kick quickly, and Jordan Pickford saves it, but I don't think it would have counted anyway, because the referee didn't allow the quick free kick in the first place. And it was a nice little try, actually, from Zinchenko, funnily enough. And the referee had already blown a whistle. And it was going to just dip under the crossbar, but Jordan Pickford pushed it over. And they've played 6 minutes of stoppage time at the Etihad. We've played 5 minutes of stoppage time here. And we are going to take this free kick. It looks like we are going to win this game finally. Although we're not that bothered now about getting the ball into the box. We're just going to play for time over in that corner. The Arsenal fans are applauding the team, which in some ways you could say, yeah, fair enough. In other ways, it's like, well, we've come up short again. But anyway, that's something we can look at. Anyway, Timber switches the ball from right to left. Jesus is going to pick this up. That was on his chest there. Are we going to get a third goal right at the end just to seal matters? Ball play to the edge of the area. Martin Odegaard plays it out to the far side. John says they think it's all over. It is now. Yes, I think you're probably right. There's just a few seconds left here at the Emirates. There's only a few seconds left at Manchester City as well. Declan Rice now in possession for Arsenal. Well, we've done our job, I suppose. You have to look at it like that. We've done our job. We won the game, however much of a drama we made of it. But it is full time at the Etihad. It is full time at the Etihad. Manchester City 3, West Ham 1. It has finished there. Manchester City win the league for a 4th season in a row. Martinelli now inside the penalty area. Is he going to score? No, he's not, because he's fired over the crossbar. The title's gone. Manchester City have won. They've beaten West Ham 3-1. Greg says, another season without a trophy. Time for a new manager. At least the women gave the club something. Exactly, yeah. Trophies are what? We're Arsenal. And I'll say next season for me, we have to win something, a cup. We've got to win something. No other manager in Arsenal's history in their first 4 full seasons has failed to win a trophy and kept their job. No other previous Arsenal manager. 4 seasons is the most that they've lasted. The full-time whistle has gone here at the Emirates. It wasn't enough for Arsenal. We did just about scrape the win here. It's finished Arsenal 2, Everton 1. But it's irrelevant in many ways because Manchester City have beaten West Ham 3-1. So they are league champions. And Arsenal, once again, are going to be their bridesmaid, as happened last season as well. Yes, we did our job. We won our last game of the season. We've got 89 points. There's no shame in that. But when it doesn't actually bring you what you want it to bring you, no trophies, you have to start feeling that there's reasons for that, isn't there? You know, it's been a good season, but it's not been a great season. There you go. Regis says there, 78 seconds into the game and the title was done. Well, yeah, that was when Man City scored today. Anyway, Terry says, how's that song go? Arteta knows what we want. A new manager. Get him out now. It's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen. Adzakunda says, at least West Ham tried. Well, they sort of tried, I suppose. Yeah, they still lost, though, didn't they? Terry says, well done, Pep, 4 in a row. No one's ever done 4 in a row. I thought maybe that whole weight of history against Man City was going to go in our favour today, but it didn't. We did get our job done, just about. It was a struggle at times, but we got the win. We did go 1-0 down, of course. That deflected free kick from Idrissa Gueye gave Everton the lead. We equalised right on half-time. Tomiyasu scored to make it 1-1. The second half was a bit of a damp screw in many ways. We didn't really get going. We had 1 or 2 opportunities. We did it in woodwork. But in the end, we got a late goal. Kai Havertz scored to give us at least 3 points. But it's not enough. It was probably never going to be enough, if we're honest. And in the end, Manchester City won their game 3-1. They have won the title for the 4th time in a row. And we once again got to settle for a runners-up spot. There's some very, very upset Arsenal players on the pitch. And they gave everything, to be fair, for the season. 89 points is a decent effort, isn't it? But unfortunately, it's not enough. It is not enough. And there'll be many games we can look back on and think, well, if only this, if only that. But ultimately, we just wasn't quite good enough, was we? Wasn't quite good enough to get it done. And that's the 2nd season in a row that has been the case. And Manchester City have once again won the title. Rajesh says, only good thing was that we won. It's irrelevant though, isn't it? We might have lost. The ultimate result is the same. We've still finished 2nd. Yes, it looks better that we've got 89 points. It looks better that we won the last game, but doesn't feel like we've won the game, does it? It doesn't feel like we've won. Terry says, may as well have won a new kit. Yeah, no, we may as well have won a new kit, absolutely. We should have, might as well have done. But yeah, it's it is what it is. We've come up short. We've come up short again, and yeah, we need to find a way, don't we? Is it the players that we need? Do we need a stronger backup players? I think we probably do. I think tactically, Arteta's still got lots to learn. He has still got lots to learn. When things go our way, it's fine. When things don't go our way, that's when we struggle. That's when we've dropped points previously in the season. And although we finished the season well, with 17 wins from our last 19 games, I think it is something like that, which is a great run. It wasn't enough. It's not been enough. And once again, we are finishing 2nd. And yeah, we can hold our heads up a little bit more this season compared to last, but the end result's the same. There's still no trophies. And I think this summer there needs to be quite a big turnaround in players. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of these squad players need to leave, need to move on. They're not good enough. They're not adding anything, are they? Let's be honest. They are not adding anything to the team, to the squad. We've got players like Fabio Vieira, Smith Rowe never get to play today. Eddie Nketiah, El Neni, Cedric. All these players are going to have to leave, aren't they? And we're going to have to replace them because we still need a squad. John says, we took 4 points off City and still didn't cross the line. No, because we took 1 point off Fulham, no points off Aston Villa. We lost at home to West Ham. These are the reasons why we didn't win the league. We didn't lose to Liverpool or Man City. We didn't lose to Man United. We didn't lose to Spurs. But it's the other games that's cost us, isn't it? The games that we should have won. Fulham at home, we were 2-1 up when they had 10 men and we conceded a daft goal. There you go. Terry says, Arteta out and half our squad and there's only a handful I'd keep. Well, yeah. Redendra says, great commentary. We lost our game because of Zinchenko and Arteta and we were bottom of the league, according to you. Well, no, but is second place something to celebrate? I don't think it is. We're Arsenal. We should have higher standards than that. We should, yes, be disappointed. Absolutely. Everybody, the players look disappointed. They look gutted, upset. Of course they do. And rightly so, but as fans, we can't accept second place and think that's acceptable. That's good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Yes, this season we showed improvements on last season. Yeah, of course we did. We absolutely showed improvements on last season. We didn't fall away at the end. We kept going. We kept going. We kept winning our games. But when you look back on the tactical mistakes that Mikel Arteta's made at crucial times in the season, that's ultimately what's cost us. It cost us last season. Some of his signings haven't worked out. And, we're still short, aren't we? We're still short. And how much longer are we going to accept being short? This summer is so important because the squad isn't deep enough, is it? It's not deep enough. You can see what's on the bench. He doesn't trust half of them players on the bench because he never uses them. I mean, God knows why he moved Smith Rowe on today. Was it just because it might be his last game? I don't know. Terry says, every game we lost was because of Arteta fiddling with things. Yeah, most of them were. And he fiddled with things today when he didn't need to. We won the game in the end, but he made some strange decisions there. Roger says, Terry, I don't know why you're after him. Rajendra says, see you next year, and we should win some trophy, Champions League, hopefully. Well, we're not good enough to win the Premier League as things stand. We're nowhere near good enough to win the Champions League, not at this moment in time. Look how long it took Man City to win it. We're never going to win that, are we? Simon says, clear handball. I don't know which one that's referring to, the Jesus one or the Souček one. Still. Anyway, we've won the game, and that's fair enough. And the players, I'm sure, are going to get a good reception from the fans, and rightly so. It's we've had a solid Premier League season, 89 points. That's the second most we've ever got, and it's the most we've got in 20 years since we last won the league. But it's not enough. And if we want to win the league, we know what we've got to do. You know how many points Man City are going to get, so we know what we've got to do. And this season, the improvements of last year, I think Kai Havertz and Declan Rice have made a difference. It's not enough. It's not enough. We need to have a clear out over the summer. We need to get rid of a lot of these squad players. We need to bring in some better quality, and then we might have half a chance. We might have half a chance. As things stand, without those changes, next season is going to be more frustration, isn't it? You can't win a league title using 14, 15 players on a regular basis, which is what we've done. The others haven't been given time. And when we have needed to play them, they've not been good enough. They've not been good enough. Anyway, there's going to be Martin Ødegaard now is talking on the pitch. So let's have a listen to him, shall we?
Look, I think we're all a little bit disappointed at the moment, to be honest. I think we've been fighting so long, for the big dream, and we're so close. At the same time, I'm so proud of the split. I'm so proud of everyone at the club, the fans. I'm so proud of when I first came here, all the way to up to today, it's a big difference, and we've changed the club. I think we all believe in us now, and guys, I can't wait to come back up to the ring
Well, that's one of our options last season. It's always forward. Plenty to take into next season.
Yeah, I think we're on a good way. We're close to last year, but now we have to use the break and come back even stronger, even more hungry, and we're going to push to win it.
Just Martin, you mentioned these incredible performances, both home and away. Everton has been rocked this season. What is your message to our incredible fans, not only here at the stadium, all over the world?
Yeah, honestly, guys, I can't thank you enough for everything you do for us. The support we have, away games, like we're playing home is different level. We can't thank you enough, and we love you so much, so thank you.
I was expecting myself. Really, what else could he say? Every team that loses something always says, "Well, we'll come back next year hungrier." And yes, we've made a small step forward from last season, I think, and it wasn't enough. It's not a step enough, is it? Rajendra says that hopefully we get some hardware from Everton. Yeah, we could do it 1 or 2, couldn't we? They certainly gave us a challenge today. Rad just says when Palace can win 5-0, but we can't even score 1. Well, there you go. Rajendra says there some good players have been injury ravaged, and these players are the ones who will need to be replaced as Declan and Havertz are available all the time. Yeah, but also as well, you've got to look at the bench today, for example. You know, Eddie Nketiah, he's not been injured. He just he's not trusted. Fabio Vieira he's not trusted enough. They're not good enough, probably, are they? I mean, Jacob Kiwior wasn't trusted today. And we're going to hear from the boss. Well, we will be hearing from the boss in a minute.
Incredible. That is your team. You must be so proud of your
You're starting to be patient. You're starting to understand what we're trying to do. And all these metrics have to go to six players. That is unbelievable. Now it's time to have a break, reflect, and please keep pushing, keep inspiring this team. Don't be satisfied because we want much more than that, and we're going to get it. Thank you so much.
Well, mate, we're the ones that aren't satisfied. We're the ones that aren't satisfied. We are demanding more from you as well, mate. So there you go. Rajendra says, Vieira injury ravaged, but not enough game time to improve. Well, why hasn't he had enough game time? Whose fault's that? Whose fault is it he's not had enough game time? Whose fault is it none of these squad players have had enough game time? It's the manager's fault. He picks the team. Ultimately, that's it. Smith Rowe, yeah, but Smith Rowe's been fit for ages. He's been on the bench for ages. Vieira's been on the bench for ages. If they're not fit, they're not on the bench. They're fit. They are fit. The manager doesn't trust them enough. That's the problem. And if you don't trust your squad players, you have to go out and you have to spend some more money because he can't improve anybody. He's shown that in the whole time he's been at Arsenal. Which player has he actually coached and improved? None. He doesn't improve them. They don't. He buys them. They don't work. He just goes and replaces them or leaves them on the bench for a year. Who's he improved? Nobody. He hasn't improved anybody. The players, the top players were top players, already. And the other ones just haven't worked out because he hasn't been able to improve. Why is he not? Look at Zinchenko. He hasn't improved him, has he? Absolutely no chance, has he? He hasn't improved Vieira. He hasn't improved Smith Rowe. He hasn't improved Gabriel Jesus. He hasn't improved Eddie Nketiah. He didn't improve Aaron Ramsdale. Who's he actually improved? I don't understand. Declan Rice was a top quality player before he joined Arsenal. Thomas Partey was a top quality player before he joined Arsenal. Saliba was already there. He was already at Arsenal anyway, but he had his season on loan. You could see how the quality he was. Who's he really improved? I don't see anybody's improved. Martinelli's gone backwards. Martin Odegaard's he's a good player, but as he improved, he's kind of stagnant. A lot of this team, that's where we are. We're stagnant, and I don't know. Anyway, that's where we are. Greg says people call for Jonas out, but he wins trophies. How can you keep a manager that keeps falling short? Well, I agree with you. I've been agreeing with that for a long, long time. I really have. I just feel that Arteta has improved certain aspects of the way we play. He's improved results. We've gone from being 8th that he took us to, let's remember, to now we're in the kind of talk for titles. We're still not able to get the titles, but it's sometimes you can only take a club so far, and then someone else needs to come in and finish the job, and we need someone to finish this job. it's half a job, isn't it? At the minute, it's half a job. The improvements are there; they're not enough. It's half a job, and we maybe need to find the next person who can finish that job off. I think 2 seasons in a row of the same kind of things, the same mistakes being made, and replacements in the squad not being made, and wasting money on the wrong players, and I don't know. There's too many things. There's too many things. Virginia said, "Hold on, you can't play as if we need to win a game. So when we're winning 4-0, you can't rely on that, can you? You because there could be points in the season, there could be points in games when you're losing or you're drawing, and you need your squad players to come on and play. They need to be ready to do that in any game situation. It's no good just bringing them on when you're 4-0 up. That's easy. I could go on when Arsenal are 4-0 up. You've got to do it. You've got to give these players playing at the right time when it matters, so they can learn how to deal with that and be able to deal, especially the younger players. And that Arteta's management of that has been terrible. How many youth players has he brought through in his 4.5 years? How many? None is the answer. None. Look at that squad today. Look at that squad today. The only players that's come for our youth system in the squad, 2 of them on the bench, was Smith. Well, Smith and Eddie Nketiah. Obviously, Saka's out injured, and they were already in the first team squad before Mikel Arteta came. Who's he brought through? This great youth team that we've got. None. Not one player. Not one player in 4 years. You'd imagine in 4 years, by now, there'd be someone who 4 years ago was shining in that team that he could have worked with and developed. No, he can't develop them. They're all leaving. The best young Arsenal players are leaving, and that's down to the manager. That is down to the manager. Smith Rowe, who saved him his job 4 years ago, is going to be leaving because he can't get a game. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I just said that Arsenal did win the FA Cup. Yes, they won the FA Cup with the team he was left with. 6 months. It wasn't his team. He had 6 months with them. And then he got rid of all those players that won him the cup. He spent all these hundreds of billions of pounds on this new team that can't win anything. This is his team and they can't win anything. It was pretty much most of Wenger's team plus some of the players that were brought in under Unai Emery that won the FA Cup. It's not his team. This is his team now. He's had this team for 2 seasons now, and they've not won anything. He's thrown away cups. Regis says, no, I genuinely feel he doesn't deserve the sack. I'm not sure. Terry says, Arteta had a clear out. Now it's time for another clear out. It is time for another clear out, yeah. Rajendra says, okay, so we need to lose some more games so youth players. No, you don't lose games for youth players to take part. You bring them in. You bring them into the squad, you get them onto the pitch. Sometimes when you're winning, sometimes when you're losing, you get them that experience. I'm not saying to throw them in from the start. You do it gradually. You play them in some of the cup games. You then integrate them into some of the league games. Sometimes they maybe start off in the good games when you're winning, yeah. But then you've also got to be able to trust not just the youth players. The youth players, I would say, need to be more managed better. Yeah, maybe when they start off, bring them into games when it's an easier situation. But some of these players on the bench that he's not using, Smith Rowe's got experience. How many games has he played in his career? Fabio Vieira's still a young player, but he's had 2 seasons here now. It's not like he's just come out of the youth team. And these are sort of players. Eddie Nketiah, look how long he's been at the club. Do you know what I mean? These are players that if they're in your squad, you've got to trust them and you've got to use them. And he's you've got to have, look at Man City, look how Pep manages his squad. That is a top quality manager who knows what they're doing to a rookie who's not really sure, doesn't have confidence in himself, doesn't have confidence in those around him. That's what the difference is. That's the difference here. Roger says also one important point: Arteta can't be sacked. Check the win percentage. Yeah, but the win percentage. Check the trophy percentage. Shall we? Why not check that? It's all very well winning games, winning lots of games. If it doesn't lead anywhere, then you might as well forget those stats, mightn't you? Really. Terry says even the youth team players don't want to stay at the club under Arteta because they know they have no future. Exactly. Yeah. Regeneration says hundreds of millions of pounds. Well, it's a lot of money, isn't it? It's a lot of money. That's why we went out. No, we went out in cup competitions because he didn't play the youth players. Really, did he? The cup competitions. What he played was he played the likes of Fabio Vieira, who he paid £45 million for, by the way. He played people like Emil Smith Rowe, who don't play enough games. He played players in the squad who didn't play games, and he expected them to be able to win a cup game. No, That's not how it works. You've got to get that balance right. What you do is you make 2 or 3 changes every so often. So your squad players are playing regular football. And then when they are needed in the cup games, you can throw them in, and they're not going to be out of their depth. They're not going to be off the pace. You've got to manage your squad. Pep does it. Klopp's done it. You know, all the top managers done it. Alex Ferguson used to do it. Arsene Wenger used to do it. You know, these are top managers that know how to win trophies. You've got to manage your squad, and that's one thing Arteta's never been able to do. Arteta's fine if he's got the same 14 or 15 players fit every week. He'll be fine. And that's why we've had this great run since Christmas, because who's been injured since Christmas? Who's been injured? Who of his main players have been injured? No, none of them. None of them have been injured. They've all played. Thomas Partey was out before. He's coming at the end and made a bit of a difference. All the others have not been injured since Christmas, have they? Who's been injured? No, none of them. That's why we've had such a good run of results, because he's had a consistent team he can pick. As soon as we get 2 or 3 injuries, we've had it. If we'd had 2 or 3 injuries 2 months ago, we wouldn't have took it to the last game of the season. We'd have been out of it a long time ago. But the fact of the matter is, we've been fortunate with injuries in the second half of the season. We haven't had injuries. Gabriel got today, last game of the season. You know, we don't know how bad that injury is, but he'd say he's out for 6 weeks. If that had happened 2 months ago, we'd have had it. We would have had it. You know, Saliba's been fit this season. Look what happened last season when he was out. Look what he did today when Gabriel had to go. We didn't have a clue what to do, because he's not used to playing without Gabriel. He didn't know what to do, so he made ridiculous substitutions. And had that happened 2 or 3 months ago, he would have made those ridiculous team changes, and we wouldn't have kept winning the games. We won the games because we didn't get anyone injured. We could play a consistent team week after week after week, and that's unusual. That won't happen again. You can guarantee it won't happen again. Next season, Declan Rice will probably miss some games. Kai Havertz will probably miss some games. Saliba will probably miss some games. Gabriel will miss some games. Ben White will miss some games. All these players that he relies on, you know. And how do we then? Martin Odegaard might miss some games. That's that. The worry is, how will we cope with those players not being in the team? That's my concern. That really is my concern. Roger says, well, they cheated the rules to get the ball. They didn't really cheat the rules to get the players, did they? It's more about other stuff they've cheated, but it makes no difference. Let's make excuses. Let's keep making excuses. Let's just make excuses. Man City are too good. Well, let's not bother playing next season. Then they're too good. You know, let's not bother playing. There's no point, is there? You know, what's the point of starting a season if we don't feel that we can win it? Greg says, we are Arsenal. We expect trophies. Arteta can't deliver. There's no excuse. Exactly. Yeah, we are Arsenal. That's what I'm saying. Raja says, okay, so please don't forget the 9-year trophy drought. At least that's not the case. No, it is almost. And don't forget, though, that trophy drought you're talking about, we moved stadium. We had no money. We had to get rid of our best players. Imagine if Arsene Wenger was given the money Mikel Arteta has been given during those 9 years. Do you think we'd have gone 9 years without winning a trophy? Absolutely no chance. We'd have been winning league titles. We would have won 2 or 3 league titles in those 9 years. If Arsene Wenger was in a position financially, a club we're in now, if he was given that money that Mikel Arteta has been given, we would have won league titles in those 9 years. Absolutely, 1,000,000%. There's no doubt. Absolutely guaranteed, nailed on. Right? He's able to sell all his best players every summer because we couldn't afford it because of the stadium. So he had his hands tied behind his back. And yes, 9-year trophy drought wasn't great, but you had to bear in mind there's no excuses now. Look at the money that we've spent. Look at the money that Arteta's been backed. He's been backed to the hill. If Unai Emery had been backed in that way and given this much time, do you honestly think we would have gone 4 years without a trophy? No, we'd have won a European trophy, probably Europa League by now. Absolutely 100% guaranteed we would have. We'd have probably won an FA Cup with Unai Emery in these last 4 years with the money and the time that Arteta's been given. Guarantee it would have been. Terry says Saka been injured, but he don't want to drop him. Apart from today, Saka's leg must have fell off. Well, yeah, must have done, yeah. Rajendra says the Man U manager went 5 years without winning before he started winning with the FA Cup, and that's why he survived. And we talk about him. So your 4-year rule does not take place. No, but I'm talking about Arsenal. I don't care about other clubs. At Arsenal, no manager has not won a trophy in their first 4 full seasons and survived. That's a fact. Since Herbert Chapman. And look what Herbert Chapman did aside from that, you know. So that's what at Arsenal. I don't care about other clubs. I don't care. I'm talking about Arsenal. No manager has gone their first 4 full seasons without winning a trophy at Arsenal since Herbert Chapman and not been sacked or left or whatever. Most of them don't even get 4 years. No, both don't get nowhere near. Billy Wright's the only one who got 4 seasons. So there you go. Terry says we're Arsenal, not Arteta FC. Rajendra says Arsenal won the FA Cup many times. Yeah, we did win the FA Cup many times. Yeah, of course, but not recently. Roger says during those days the transfer amount was equivalent to these days. Well, I don't know about that. Roger says inflation plays a role here. Of course it does. Yeah. Terry, time to buy the club and then choose your own manager. Well, no, we're fans, right? And we don't get to choose. We don't get to make those decisions, but we have got a right to an opinion because we're fans. You know, we don't have to agree with everything the club does. We have to make our own minds up and say, you know what, we don't like this. It's not what we need. And we can be better. We can do better. And we should be aiming better. I'm not saying we're not, but we don't seem to be making that progress now. There's no excuses anymore. Terry says, what makes you want to keep Arteta? To Rajendra? Why? Well, why not? We've just explained that to you. You know, 4 seasons in a row without a trophy. To me, that's 4 years with the money that's been spent. Then, you know, that's it. Rajendra says, then you can make your own decision. Yeah, but one, you know, none of us as fans are going to be in a position financially to buy Arsenal, are we? You know, we're not David Dean. We're never going to be in that position. That's not really the point, is it? As fans, though, we're quite important, but it needs everybody to get behind something and say, you know what, we demand more. But the fans in the stadium, you saw them there, they was all chattering, clear. Yeah, second place, yay, second place, lovely, brilliant. Another second place, yay. Another Champions League season, yay. There you go. Roger says, Terry, what makes you not want to keep? Well, I think we've explained that already, haven't we? My why not was for not. Well, because buying a club costs a lot of money. Buying a club like Arsenal costs billions of pounds because it's one of the most successful business models in the world. That's the reason. And, you know, I'm sure me and Terry between us haven't got enough money to do that. So that's the reason why. And that's why we can't buy the club. It doesn't mean we can't have an opinion about it. That's what, you know, it takes up most of our life, this club. So we're entitled to an opinion, and everybody's entitled to an opinion, and nobody's right or wrong, because that's what opinions are. Opinions are just opinions, aren't they? You're entitled to your opinion. You're not right or wrong. We're entitled to our opinion. We're not necessarily right or wrong. It's just an opinion, isn't it? The only thing that's proved right or wrong is on the pitch. If we win trophies, then that's the proof is in the pudding, isn't it? That is the proof is in the pudding there. We won trophies. Yeah, it's brilliant. That's what we all want. We'll all be happy. Fantastic. But we're not winning trophies, so we've got a right to question it. Roger says, all I will say is decisions in the hands of the management. We'll see. We're not arguing. We're just having a debate. Roger says, we have started to back and the Cronkies are moving forward. Yeah, we're backing the wrong man, though. That's the problem. We're backing the wrong man. Terry says, because he's failing every season, how many more seasons are we going to let him keep failing? Exactly, yeah. How many seasons are we going to let him keep failing? I wouldn't give him too many more. One more next season for me, and that's it. I said that last season, though, didn't I? If we don't win this season, a trophy this season, he should go. There has been improvements there, and I kind of think maybe another season. But if we don't win anything next season, he has to go. Surely he has to go. 5 seasons in a row, he has to go. If we don't win a trophy next season, whether it's the league, whether it's even the Carabao Cup, something, we've got to have some trophy. Next season, the last game of the season, we've got to have a trophy to show the fans. We've got to. And I don't care what one it is. Honestly, I'm not even bothered. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, whatever. Just win something, mate. Win something. And that's what, if you don't win something next season, you've got to go. You've got to go. Next season, that's it. But Andrew says, I'm just supporting the whole team. Well, they are our managers. That is what support is. Well, no, support is about wanting the best possible for your club. That's what support really means. Support means, you know, going away from disappointments and not and feeling upset and wanting better. That's what support of the club means. Support of the club doesn't mean, oh well, okay, yeah, no, well, he's the manager. Should we have stuck with Bruce Rioch then because he was the manager? Should we just have backed him? Oh, he's the manager, let's keep him. You know, should we have stuck with Unai Emery? Oh, he's our manager, let's keep him. No, of course not. Did you want Unai Emery sacked? Of course you did. Everybody wanted Unai Emery sacked. At some point, everybody's going to want Mikel Arteta sacked. And that day can't come soon enough. Greg says, in the 60-odd years I supported this club, I've never known us to stand by and answer. That's what I'm saying. Exactly my point, mate. Yeah, exactly my point. Roger says, I wait for the Community Shield. It's so unfortunate why people underestimate it. We shouldn't even be in a Community Shield. You should win something to be in it. Well, we might not be in it. If Man United beat Man City next week in the FA Cup final, they'll be playing in the Community Shield. And they will deserve to play in there because they've won a trophy. 2 seasons in a row, Ten Hag has won a trophy. And Arsenal fans, oh, look at Ten Hag. Oh, look at Ten Hag. Look how crap he is. He's won more trophies than Mikel Arteta. Well, he's got to 2 cup finals. He hasn't won it yet. If he was to win it next week. Terry says, but Dan, if you ain't supplying what you was bought into, do you get rid of them and bring in someone? Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, right, I need to get sorted because I'm on Talk TV at 7:20, and we're going to have more discussion on this game, on the season, and 1 or 2 other bits and pieces. So join me for that if you want to. That'd be great. Redemption, I prefer harmony. Then I may feel disappointed, but while they start a season with a manager, I'll support them. I did support Unai. At the beginning, you couldn't support him at the end. Surely not. Come on. Everybody wanted him gone at the end before he got sacked. Everybody wanted him out because it wasn't working. You can't support something that's bad for your club because that's wrong. If anything's good for your club, support them absolutely, but not when it's bad for your club. You can't support that. Otherwise, how can you want what's best for the club? I always want what's best for the club. What I want is better than what we're currently doing. I want us to win trophies. And I say, if next season, if you were to ask me right now, if we were to finish 4th next season and win the Carabao Cup, I would prefer that to this season, 1,000,000%, because it's a trophy and it's something that we can build on. And we're still in the top 4. We're still in the Champions League. No different. Being in a title race and coming second is crap. I'd rather not be in a title race, finish 4th and win a cup. That's what I'd rather do. But that's just me, because I want to see Arsenal win trophies, because that's what we're about. Look at our history. We're not Tottenham. We're not trophy dodgers. We're becoming trophy dodgers. I just says, and what is the Bundesliga on it? Well, no, the Bundesliga trophy is a shield, but you've won the league. You win the league and you get it. To win the Community Shield, it's just a friendly. You win a friendly to get it. That's all it is. And last season, we shouldn't have even been in it. We didn't win a trophy. It's meant to be for people to win a trophy playing it. Roger said, I was greatly disappointed when we lost the Europa League Cup, especially when we lost. Yeah, exactly. And that was down to the manager, wasn't it? Imagine if that was Arteta now. Imagine if we'd lost 4-1 today, playing like that. What would you have said then? Oh, well, let's back him again for next season. No, because it's not good enough. Not good enough. Anyway, John says, thanks, Richard, for today. See you, everyone. So, yeah, thank you for joining us, mate, and all your score updates and stuff. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us, as always. Yes, that's it. I'm going to go and get prepared for this appearance that I'm making on Talk TV. So join me for that at about 6:20. Arsenal won the game today. It feels like we lost, but we didn't. We did win, but I don't really feel like we won. Disappointing, isn't it? Terry says Harry Kane trophy cabinet under Arteta. Well, yeah, it seems that way. We'll be back obviously during the week, Tuesday or Wednesday, for the season review show with the guys. That's going to be good. Friday, of course, the women's show season review. That's going to be good. And of course, we'll have some Euro stuff in the summer as well. Loads and loads and loads of great stuff. So make sure you join me for that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Roger says that 2019 final second half was the worst I could imagine. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I've almost tried to wipe it off out of my brain because it was so bad. So thanks for watching today, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your support for this season. We haven't finished yet. We'll have 2 season reviews this week, so join us for all of that. Thanks for watching today. I will see you later. Come on, you Gunners. It wasn't enough today. We won the game. It wasn't enough. City won. They're champions 4 in a row. Well done, Man City. We will see you soon, guys. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra.